Welcome along everybody to Watkins Glen for this rounds 5 to 8 of the iRacing British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship here on iRacing Live, Apex Racing TV and of course internationally on Motors TV alongside iRacing World Championship driver Alex Simpson and Adam Bath. It's Andrew Woodhouse here to bring you another 4 races in this brilliant BSR Touring Car Championship. Adam Bath, I'll bring you in first. Watkins Glen, it's fast and furious here in upstate New York. And we're going to have some cracking action tonight in the Kia Optima.
Yeah, and I think we're probably on one of the fastest tracks on the entire calendar. We're back on the classic layout for this season, so it's basically the NASCAR circuit minus the bus stop chicane 2/3 of the way down the back straight. And we were here in season 7 and it was an absolute crash fest, and I think we could be in for more of the same tonight, but hopefully not, and we'll see if those drivers can make it safely up that hill through the S's.
Simon Field leads the championship by 19 points from Stelian Chepelevsky, with Alex Smolensky in 3rd, Richard Gore in 4th and Colin Cunniff in 5th. And Alex Simpson, I'll bring you in here. I know this is one of your favourite circuits, not necessarily the layout you run in the Formula 1 car. Will the bus stop chicane being removed, will that affect overtaking or will that help it in fact?
I don't think it's going to affect it. The cars are quick enough, they punch enough of a hole, there'll be a big enough draft that we'll see people duck out just before the carousel, so I think we'll see some good overtaking. I also think it might breed a few more incidents with people trying like late moves into the carousel and not being able to hold it, so we'll have to watch out for people sort of drifting out when they make a dive and the inevitable crash that might come with it.
Qualifying's just begun, Adam. We've had about 3 minutes. We've already got some early times on the board and some good times indeed from Ashley Sutton, Stelian Chepelevsky, Jamie Fluke is up there as well. We have 50 cars here tonight, which is amazing for the second round of the season. 55 cars on this short 3.89 kilometre circuit, and Adam getting a good time in qualifying. You can be helped and you can be hindered here very easily.
Yeah, and there's such fine margins in this qualifying session. We were talking to one of the BSR Pro Series drivers, Jerome Kaiser, just before the session began, and it was almost like the top 20 or so were separated by less than a second, and it was exactly the same when we heard back in season 7. So you may need to make sure that you definitely get every single corner right so that you don't lose those fractions of a second that will get you on the grid, because as you said, 50 cars, you do not want to be in the mid-30s or so with all of those cars around you and the possibility of getting involved in a huge pile-up. 50 cars heading down that back straight towards the carousel. That is going to be a sight to behold.
Track temperature is fairly low, Alex. 33 degrees Celsius. We anticipate if there's going to be a problem, it's not going to be in turn 1. It's going to be on the run, up the hill, through the very fast, almost flat out S's.
Yeah, especially that first lap. Tyres just not quite up to pressure. Rear end gets a little bit slippy. We'll expect it with the classic layout, everyone to be running the wing wicker down as absolutely low as they can possibly get. So car's going to be a little bit skatey. So yeah, there's nowhere to move, nowhere to vanish if you have an accident. Yeah, if you have an accident up there. So we've seen that in a lot of different series as well over the years, including this one. So yeah, let's keep an eye out for that one. It's going to be tricky the first few laps. If that track temp drops even further, then it'll be even harder.
Adam, would you be able to tell us, some drivers felt the wrath of the stewards last week, and would you be able to go through and just see who's had a slap on the wrist and maybe a good caning?
Yeah, so there's been quite a few changes after the first race meeting at Phillip Island. We'll start with Jamie Rushworth. As a result of the contact that he had in lap 1, he got a 10-place penalty from his race results, so that's not carried over to the next race. It's just he drops 10 places from where he finished. Dan Kraft was disqualified and has been given a back of the grid penalty for the first race of the evening here. Julian Janowski has been given a 10-place penalty from Phillip Island. Andreas Katz, the season 8 champion and season 3 champion, disqualified and a back of the grid penalty for this first race, so he's definitely going to be one to watch, fighting his way back through the pack. Stelian Chepelevsky, Robert Graham and Matt Bunn all received 10-place penalties from where they finished in Phillip Island. Wojciech Savinovic was disqualified and will get a back of the grid penalty, so we'll have 2 former champions right at the back of the grid here. Ashley Sutton, who we saw driving for MG in the BSR BTCC Media Day earlier this week and looking very impressive. He had a 10-place penalty from where he finished at Phillip Island. And finally, Matt Bunn and Ben Hackerson, they were both disqualified and they both will be receiving back of the grid penalties for this first race.
Alex, you don't want to be at the back of a 50-car grid, do you, really?
Not on the classic layout as well. You know, like the classic boot or something like that. That might give you a few.
Are they wrecking? Are they?
That might give you a few more.
Oh
dear.
And there's a few people in. And this is going to affect the qualifying. You cannot reset in the qualifying here. Stuart Atkinson, and then there's a Roy Verke on his roof as well.
This is all people coming out of the pits, trying to get out the way when they're trying to start their lap, and someone blew an engine as well.
Luckily for them, they'd already put a time in at this point. We've got 4 12-lap races tonight, Adam, and the pace was fast and furious last week at Phillip Island. But we surely aren't expecting anything different this time.
No, I don't think we're expecting anything different. We saw how close the racing was there, going down that front straight into those first few corners. It was absolutely brilliant to watch. There was a bit of contact there. Balfour, on his first race meeting in the series, was a really good start for him. He's not doing too well in qualifying at the moment, but he was right at the front, mixing it around with Stelian Chepelewski and Wojciech Savinovich, and there was a bit of contact between those two. That was one of the highlights of the race meeting. And yeah, it was a fantastic way to start the series, and of course we had to wait a bit for race 4. Hopefully we don't see that tonight. We want to get these 4 races in, 4 hopefully action-packed races, because the last time we were here in season 7, I think only the highest the gap was between first and second was 1.5 seconds, and that was in race 1. All the other finishes were less than 0.2 of a second in it, so that's how close the finishes are set to be here. We've got, what, 2 minutes left in the session, and then I better get the breathing exercises started, because we'll be going through that 50-car grid soon.
We will indeed. Alex, I wonder if we can, because we do have a little bit of time, we've got a bit more time than usual to have a look at qualifying. Is it possible that we could go on board and you could walk us through a lap of this classic track with, well, Ashley Sutton's such a good one to go with as he's at the front of this train.
Let's just do that. It's just finishing up through the penultimate corner. As we're around the final corner, let's see, is he starting a lap, is he finishing a lap? What do we reckon?
We'll see what the time is.
It's got enough time to do one more lap, so over the line he goes.
Let's hope it's a lap then. Okay, so we got a bit of connection problems heading down into turn 1. You want to catch that camber on the corner on the inside there. It helps pull the car around, especially important on these front wheel drive Kias. Hard on the gas, up through the hill. A lot of cars, this could be pretty straightforward and simple, but Kia wants to understeer like crazy. Look at Ashley fighting to keep it out of the Armco on the right hand side there, but good line through there, carrying a lot of speed down this back straight. No chicane, of course, so lots of time to get yourself prepared to nail the carousel, or to get yourself a bit worried and mess it up. Ashley comes in nice and early.
Very tight line.
Yeah, he uses the camber on the corner there to help pull the car around. Ever so important as well. Drivers saying it's easy to get a little bit light going over the crest and lock up, so we might see a few mistakes there. Again down this back straight, not as long as the other one. We will see some moves going into the penultimate corner, a bit more of a braking zone in there. Again, cambered corner. Oh, he just lets some traffic go. So
Baker
yeah,
through. I think it's Baker who's got this big toe. No, he hasn't.
Comes in.
Hefford does though. Hefford's going to come over. But what's he going to do? Was he? Stays 8th, so doesn't improve Steve Hefford. Is there anybody out there, Adam, who could be on a fast one?
Just trying to look through now.
Maybe Nathaniel Simpson.
Liam Atkins in the CQR Academy car.
Job as well.
Coming off the final corner across the line, he's currently 35th. We'll see if he's able to leap up any positions. I think he actually might. His last lap was invalidated, it's probably due to an off track, so that hasn't mattered. Checkered
flag is out. Are we getting any improvements here? Oh, Nathaniel Simpson doesn't quite improve. Only fractions off, and neither does Simon Field or Pete Newman.
Everyone else coming into the pits. Ross Balfour, as we were speaking about a few moments ago, he's currently 30th. He's coming round to complete a lap. Lap time last time around for him was a 1:12.4. See if he's able to improve on that, or will he be heading to the pits? And he is heading to the pits.
Kip Stevens improved, but only to 31st place. Goodness me. Adam, go on then. This is the mission. 50 cars. Get your oxygen tank ready and primed.
Well, I was just going to say, 1:10.6 is the pole time for Ashley Sutton. A second different is Jay Wright down in 34th place. So the top 34 separated by less than a second. That's quite incredible. But here we go then. Pole position then for the first race of the evening is Ashley Sutton, 1:10.6. Second, Stelian Chepelevsky alongside him on the front row. Jamie Fluke in third. Jack McIntyre in fourth, a good qualifying spot from him. Alex Smolensky in fifth. David Baker in his customary sixth place on the grid. Sebastian Jobe, the reigning series champion, in seventh. Steve Hefford in eighth. Jamie Rushworth in ninth, and George Simmons rounding out the top 10. Dan Hunt is in 11th. Simon Field 12th. Nick McCarron 13th. Colin Cunniff is in 14th. Richard Gore, the highest AM driver in the standings and the leader of the Pro-Am Championship, is in 15th. Julian Janowski in 16th. Pete Newman 17th. Sharon Kaiser is in 18th. Nathaniel Simpson is in 19th, and rounding out the top 20 is Ashley Blake Hood. 21st, it is Maciej Sakovic, the BSR Kia Club Series champion from Season 1. He makes his debut in the BSR TC tonight. Michael Schabach in 22nd. 23rd, Russell Laidler, with Philip Johansson 24th. Laura Bond for the Spicer Heart team in 25th. Lee Berridge in 26th. Paul Smith in 27th, Diego Melro in 28th position, another debutant in the BSR TC, Rob Plumley in 29th, and Ross Balfour rounding out the top 30.
40 seconds.
31st is Kip Stevens, 32nd, here we go, is John Roberts, 33rd Craig McLeod-Evans, 34th Jay Wright, 35th Stuart Atkinson, 36th it's Liam Atkins, 37th Scott Malcolm, 38th Roy Ververke, 39th Robert Graham in that Automech car, 40th Steve Richardson, 41st is Ario Rizzo, 42nd it is Rick Scott, 43rd Ken Bracey, and the car that did not set a time, Andreas Katz, Wojciech Savidovic, Rob Fagg, Dan Kraft, Ben Hackerson, Andrew Whitehead, and the 50th car, starting right at the back, it is Matthew Bunn.
I think that's worth a pat on the back, Alex. What do you reckon?
Definitely.
I think we had some time to spare. We could have sped it up. I
think we did. I think we did for a change. But not for long. Where does this grid stretch back to in out of curiosity, Alex? Oh, just about on the last straight here for Ben Hackerson in 48th place, so Whitehead and Bunn are going to be starting just on that corner. Alex, who's your money on very quickly before we go green here?
I don't think you can call it at this track. It's so tight, the grid. I mean, it could be anyone. An accident could just open it up to anyone. I mean, you know, you want to say people towards the front are going to have a good chance, but I don't think that's the case this time. So I think any one of the top sort of 10-15 guys could have a shot here.
Okay then. Rounds 5 to 8 of the iRacing British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. 50 drivers are going to tackle 48 laps. As the red lights come on here, we're ready to attack the Glen. Yes, we're away. Look at that scene. As those 50 cars fan out all the way down. Into turn 1 they come. Sutton is through okay, and it appears that everyone else is just about going to make it through. Good work there. No accidents through the first corner. Is it going to be the same said for the S's section?
Everyone's somehow doing a remarkable job of staying away from that Armco barrier. I thought some of them were getting pretty close to hitting it, and everyone is through. Well done, everyone. Well done. 50 cars through.
Everyone survives. Ashley Sutton leads. Now they have to tag along to the back of this car very, very quickly, Alex, because Ashley Sutton can escape if given the chance.
Yeah, he got a great start as well, 0.8 of a second. Oh, I hear some contact. Maybe that was just the scene change. Everybody looks like I can't see anyone dropping down. Wow, one person a little bit slow. I think it's John Roberts. John Roberts with some problems out there.
Is that a slowdown, Alex, or is that?
Yeah, it does look like a slowdown. He wasn't sort of standing still, sort of doing 118
Somebody's
kilometers an hour.
Somebody's parked up as well. One of the Sim Racer magazine cars, I believe.
It's Kip Stevens.
Kip Stevens, who started in the outside the top 30, did not have a good first lap then. Round to complete the first lap, Sutton leads, Stelian Chepelevsky second. It's really as you were at the moment. Jamie Fluke third, Smolensky fourth, McIntyre in fifth.
McIntyre made a slight mistake, I think. But as he almost hits the wall there, Adam.
Very close there, and David is also under pressure from the car behind him. It's Sebastian Jobe. Down the back straight we go then towards the carousel, 2x2. We've seen this so many times
someone's
here.
On the grass.
Another one of the race hub cars. Here we go. How are they going to sort it out then into the carousel? Baker's able to hold off Sebastian Job for the time being, or is he? Job trying to go around the outside of the race hub car. Sebastian Job for Sim Racer, the reigning series champion, and look at that, trying to go down the inside of another race hub car. That is George Simmons. He's alongside now the race hub car of Jamie Rushworth, who had a penalty last time out at Phillip Island. Down the inside goes Simmons, and also down the inside goes Dan Hunt. So Dan Hunt up a position as well. Hunt now inside the top 10.
Jamie Rushworth considered making that 3 wide then into the carousel, and that's always a very difficult place to try and make a move when it's 2 wide, let alone 3. He thought better of it. The former champion, of course, of the series, doing extremely well for a start. 9th place he started, but he's dropped down to 11th, so struggling a little bit there, getting eaten up a bit by those cars in the middle of the pack, including, I believe that's Simon Field with the orange bumper in the Simpson racing car, side by side with Rushworth now, Alex, and there's almost a bit of contact as they come through the S's here, and Field very nearly forced into the Amco barrier.
And now go on, Alex.
Janowski now having a little run in as well behind him. You've got Colin Cunniff and Simon Field fighting back as well, so this is crazy. Very, very close.
I'm not sure I'd like to be in this, Adam. It's all very, very it's all very close, very tense.
I'll tell you what, I think the drivers are probably more stressful than using the overcast conditions at Donington than it was for me a few seasons ago, and that was stressful. So 2 by 2 there, another battle. That is, who's that in front? That's Sebastian Job and David Baker going into battle through the penultimate corner and into the final corner as well. That penultimate corner last season, Dan Hunt, who was leading with 2 laps to go, hit the curb and spun out dramatically and ends up losing the race. So that's one corner to watch for as the night goes on. But yeah, Sebastian Job and David Baker battling over 6th place. David Baker will not want to relinquish that 6th place too easily to the reigning series champion in Sebastian Job. Job having to go wide through that first corner.
That's the touring car line, all right. Adam, as Sutton now under threat from Stelian Chepelevsky, who has already shown very excellent form this season in the Alfa Tech team.
Do we get off-track points for going wide onto that runoff area through turn 1? I can't remember.
Not unless you go on the grass.
Then that's fine then. We'll probably see more of that then tonight. Starting to see 2 groups form then. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 cars here. The Ashley Sutton, the Stelian Chepelevsky, Jamie Fluke and Alex Malensky battle. And then we've got Jack McIntyre leading Baker and Sebastian Job.
Nobody's really been able to make any moves, Alex, yet. The best driver, I think, in terms of moving forward is Jeroen Kaiser, who's made 3 positions up from 18th to 15th. It's very, very... it's very difficult in there. Svinovic is actually up to 32nd from 45th on the grid. So those really fast guys at the back making a little bit of progress, but it's always difficult, isn't it, here when everyone's getting a slipstream from the car in front? It's a bit like a DRS train.
Exactly that. Huge packs. There's just very little.
Here comes Baker.
Need to wait for mistakes, I think. Really, you know, little mistakes crop in.
Baker on McIntyre, Alex, but then he's got some company on the inside line from. Is that Job?
Yeah, it is. And up through the hill then, through the S's section, 2 by 2. Through the S's section is not good. Sebastian Job, oh, very close there, Jack McIntyre, to hitting that Armco barrier, and that's going to ruin his straight line speed, because here comes Baker around the outside. Sebastian Job, will he try and make it 3 wide as well, heading down towards the carousel?
Give Baker a shove. Yeah, there we go, you might as well. Is it going to make it work for Baker? He's got to get it stopped into the carousel. He's going to make that Kia Optima, that front-wheel drive car.
Oh, Fluke for second, they come together.
Oh, off goes Chepelevsky.
And that's damage to the car, surely. He hits the tyre barrier and damages the left side of the car. Don't know whether it's going to be crabbing at all, but down the inside goes Jamie Fluke on Stelian Chepelevsky. No way through, though, for him. Fluke, who made his debut in the BSR TC at this circuit last season for Power Maxed, trying to take second place away from, has taken second place away from Alex Malensky.
Good stat there, Adam. I like that. But Jamie Fluke, yeah, he's grown and grown into an excellent Kia Optima driver, and now he needs to be the one who reels in Ashley Sutton. Of course, reigning champion technically in the series from the Winter Series is Jamie Fluke. So, you know, he may not be a Pro Series champion, but he has shown, Adam, what it takes to win over a season.
Yeah, he was very consistent in there as well. Took a whole load of victories this time, so he has got the pace. Let's see what he can do with Ashley Sutton. Sutton last time around 1:11.5, Fluke 1:11.7. However, that was of course due to him getting involved with Stelian Chepelevsky. Chepelevsky's still on the track, however, he's coming under increasing pressure from David Baker in 5th and Sebastian Job in 6th. So we'll see how long he's able to hold on. I wonder if he has got any damage to the car. We have seen some drivers limp back with the car crabbing. I wonder if he's able to do it in this one. We've just done 6 laps. We've got half of the race still to go. Baker looking down the inside into the penultimate corner. Trzepilewski running just a little bit wide. We'll see if Baker's able to get it done down the front straight.
We've got 46 cars, Alex, separated by 20 seconds.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, there's so many huge little packs in there, and if that makes any sense whatsoever. So, I mean, you know, packs are sort of 10, 15 deep, but there's 5 or 6 of those, so just little bits of separation starting to form up now.
Baker going wide. Sorry, it's not Baker that's got. Oh, it is Baker. Sorry, that's going wide and giving Sebastian Job, then last season's champion of 2015, giving him a chance to just have a little run at the champion of season 7. And it's interesting, isn't it? Everyone's been really well behaved, but it's a great advert for the series.
Here we go then for the lead down the back straight. Whoa, Ashley Sutton, that was very defensive there. And that was he was almost on the grass there. And round the outside goes Jamie Fluke through the carousel. Is he going to try and get a run on the exit? We'll see what he can do. Sutton ends up coming back onto the racing line. What can Fluke do? He's got the straight line speed. He's got the slipstream down towards the penultimate corner. However, I think Sutton will just be able to hold on for now into that penultimate corner. You've really got to be alongside to get anything done there. But Sutton's not too quick through that penultimate corner. Oh, and off goes one of the sim racer cars. And I think that might be Sebastian Job. And that's going to allow Simmons round.
It's Job who's off, yeah. George Simmons in the 55. He's having a little look there, and there's all sorts going on in that battle now.
Just further behind them as well. Look at that coming into turn 1. Everybody's shaping up. Who's that on the inside?
Oh, and off goes that sim racer car. That is Steve Hefford.
Rushworth went down the inside.
And who was the contact with?
Oh, Hefford, yeah. Hefford's got a lot of damage now. He's going to have to stay out of the way in the S's section, otherwise we could have trouble if he can't turn, for instance, here.
Back to the lead
battle. Just about going to keep it.
Back to the lead battle again. Down the back straight, here comes Fluke and Sutton. Fluke to the outside like he did last time, but I think he's got more of an overlap. Let's see what he can do. Into the carousel, lap 8 now of 12. Still no way through. Sutton's got that inside line, and at the moment that is key.
He needs to get the run off the corner. He's got a chance now. I think he's buried, well, he's not quite buried in the slipstream, is he? He lost a little bit of ground there. Maybe he went a little bit too wide.
Side by side further behind as well.
All sorts going
Simmons,
on.
Baker and Job again.
Simmons for collecting.
Oh, Baker sideways.
Baker for race up with CQR and Baker almost losing the position, almost losing the race there. Oh, Simmons is wide.
And round the outside of Baker.
Very nearly to the wall. And there's a few people just inching ever closer to that tyre barrier at the end of the final corner. Baker and Job side by side. Job has recovered well from that mistake a couple of laps ago. He's now through and past Baker. Oh, I think that's 5th place.
Yeah, it is. So,
and look at that, McIntyre and Hunt side by side.
Through the top of the hill, and yeah, they're side by side. Let's just quickly see what's going on at the front. Any changes of position there?
Luke's right in the slipstream again, but he's not close enough for the move. As Smolenski pulls all the way out to the side here. He's having a nice
crash! And there's an Alpha Tech car involved. It's Dan Hunt and a race-up car. It's Jamie Rushworth.
McIntyre hit him, I think, from behind.
Baker, is it Baker as well? Oh no, it's Rushworth. Sorry. Yep.
Yeah, it's a Spicer Hart car there of who was it that was going to hit the back? It was
McIntyre.
Just watching it back on replay now, just so we can see what happened. Just tucked up in the draft, couldn't move to the left. He was being boxed in, and I think he didn't. Oh, just perhaps a little bit early from the Alpha Tech there with the braking. Just caught McIntyre out, but yeah, that finished him off well and truly.
Can Ashley Sutton finish off this victory? He's got 2/4 of a second over Jamie Fluke.
On to lap 10 then, less than 3 laps to go. Fluke just a bit far behind. We'll see if he's able to get the run though off the exit of the S's and down the back straight. We'll see how effective the slipstreaming is here. Ashley Sutton 236, and yeah, Jamie Fluke's got about 10 kilometres an hour advantage due to the slipstream. Let's see what he can do down the back straight towards the carousel. Smolenski going to the outside just to possibly get out of the tow and see if he can take advantage. But once again, oh look at him, he closes right up underneath there. That's Alex Smolenski on Jamie Fluke.
Better run there, wasn't he? And it's definitely the optimum line through there, it seems, at this point in the race meeting. As I think, Adam, we've got a situation where Jamie Fluke's now sort of settled into the rhythm of Ashley Sutton, and he's not really having any opportunities.
Yeah, so I think he's going to have to try and break that rhythm in the next 2 laps, and that's usually where you expect to see it broken. Jamie Fluke for Apex Racing. The Apex Racing team took a 1-2-3 last time we were at Watkins Glen, and that was with Jake Blackhall, Sebastian Job, and Lee Thompson. Those 3 drivers taking a 1-2-3 for Apex. See if Apex can get a victory. This
is a good run from Fluke this time. Much stronger Alex now through turn 1 and up to the S's, and he's got to have a good chance this lap. Oh, but he's just lost a bit of time through that section.
Yeah, perhaps just carried a little bit too much speed, and that pushed him out wide. Decided that he's not going to go with...
slow down, has he? Oh.
No, he's just covering that inside line.
It seemed like he lost a lot of time.
Into the carousel still as you were, but look at Smolensky. I think he actually hit the back of Jamie Fluke's car there.
Sim Racer magazine look like they've got a really strong car here, actually. Because look how Sebastian Job's now joined the party.
Yeah, 2 laps to go. Smolensky knows he needs to get a move on, or his teammate all want to have a little look.
Sainz and Verstappen all over again, potentially, from from last weekend. Sainz was in the right, by the way, as Simon Field in P7, the championship leader after the first 4 races, I must add. He's going down the inside, is he, of George Simmons? Not quite. Excuse me. Thinks about it.
On to the final lap of the race then. Through the S's.
Job alongside his teammate, which is what we thought might happen. We're on board with Jamie though. And he's as close as he's ever been. He pushes wide. Oh, that's so close to the Armco.
Let's see if he's able to keep the speed though. Sebastian Job is coming. Here come the Sim Racer cars.
That's a great run.
Here we go.
That's a really great run indeed from Fluke. Is it going to be enough this time? He's got a little bit of help. But against Sutton, with the optimum light, Fluke's going to have to squeeze him down a little bit, hasn't he?
I think he's done it. Andrew. He's alongside off the exit. Is Sutton going to force him wide? He does.
He pushes him.
But he's still there.
The grass, but he's not going to give up, Jamie Fluke.
And how crucial this win could be. Of course, these points matter for the showdown.
Fighting with every ounce of his being, and there is a little bit of contact now. And Sutton is wide. And Sutton's lost 4 places. And Jamie Fluke is going to win the race. He's going to take this victory, surely, is he?
Yes,
I don't know.
And it is Jamie Fluke that takes the win on the final lap of the race. Who got second place? It was Sebastian Job in the end. So Smolensky stayed in 3rd, Sutton down to 4th.
Wow. That was a phenomenal finish, but I'm not sure really if... I mean, was that a legitimate overtake? We're going to have to look at that back at the end of the race, but they're still battling here through the final corner. You've got Jay Wright and Pete Newman for... Well, that's like 43rd and 44th position.
Crazy.
Still coming through. Rick Scotch, Cesare Rizzo, McLeod Evans. McLeod Evans looks like he's been in the wars in the last couple of laps as well.
Yeah, he's in 47th place, and we had 50 starters, so only...
He's only 42 seconds behind.
Only 42, so...
44 seconds.
44 seconds coming across the line. So we only had 3 cars failing to finish out of 50 cars that started. That's pretty monumental achievement there. What a first race. Watkins Glen always provides excitement. And yeah, down to the final lap, Jamie Fluke was able to get it done in the end on Ashley Sutton.
We have a quick peek at that last lap,
yeah,
Alex?
Yeah, I'm just bringing it back now. I think I might need to go back a little further. Yeah, I do. Let me do that, and then we will we'll jump on board.
It's going to be a tough one, I reckon, because it is the old touring car move, isn't it? But he was alongside. In fact, Alex, you can take us through it when you get that.
Yeah, so he got, like you say, he got alongside and he was able to sort of squeeze Ashley there. Ashley tries to run him out of track, and Jamie says, "No, not this time. I'll take to the grass." Now, he is side by side at this point. I'll tell you what, there's no bump and run there at all. His car was firmly alongside. Nothing wrong with that in my mind. Ash tries to take a lot of speed in, but cut across on the apex and just doesn't quite clear Jamie, if I'm honest.
Looks familiar to me, that does, Adam, from the other day. That's exactly what I tried to do, and it didn't work in the same way.
Says the team principal of Apex Racing. Jamie Fluke takes the win then in the first race of the evening. Sebastian Job in second place, Alex Smolensky in third, Ashley Sutton in fourth, David Baker in fifth place, sixth, George Simmons, 7th Simon Field, 8th Jack McIntyre, 9th Stelian Chepelevsky in the end, and 10th it is Colin Cunniff. 11th Michael Schellback, 12th Julian Janowski, 13th Sharon Kaiser, 14th for Richard Gore, 15th Ashley Blake Hood, 16th on his debut in the championship for Maciej Sakovic, Nick McCarron in 17th, 18th Philip Johansson, Ross Balfour from 30th to 19th. He finished in 19th, 20th.
Performance.
Yeah, very good performance. Russell Laidler in 20th, 21st from 45th, Wojciech Savidovic, he'll be in contention for the reverse grid coming up shortly. 22nd, Rob Plumley, 23rd, Paul Smith, 24th, Nathaniel Simpson, 25th, Laura Bond, and 26th, Dan Kraft, 27th, Lee Berridge, 28th, Scott Malcolm, 29th, Andreas Katz from 44th, and 30th, Steve Hefford, 31st, Rob Fagg, 32nd, Roy Vaverki, 33rd, Ben Hackerson, 34th, John Roberts, 35th, Matt Bunn, 36th, Stuart Atkinson, 37th, Rob Graham, 38th, Steve Richardson, 39th, Andrew Whitehead, and rounding out the top 40, it is Ken Bracey, Diogo Melro in 41st, 42nd, Jay Wright, 43rd for Simpson Racing, Pete Newman, didn't have a good race there, dropped a whole load of places after starting 17th, Rick Scott in 44th, Jamie Rushworth after that contact in 45th place, 46th Cesare Rizzo, 47th Craig McLeod Evans, and in the cars 1 lap down or more, Dan Hunt in 48th. Kip Stevens and Liam Atkins had issues on the opening 2 laps of the race.
Right, are you trying to besmirch the good name of our honourable cameraman there, Adam?
Not at all, not at oh, I'm gonna be in trouble. Trust me, when we go into commercial break.
You're fired.
Nice. Thank you.
Alex, in all seriousness, though, very, very close racing there, and what we saw was, and exactly half the field isn't going to even have a chance at the reverse grid places.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? Absolutely crazy.
I do apologise in advance, actually, to any drivers who we'd struggle to mention tonight, or we barely mention, because such a big field, you know, we're going to have issues with that.
I tried to flick back and through just to some of the other little individual battles, but it's so hard to keep up because there were so many battles going on everywhere. It was impossible to get everyone on camera today.
Although we do have 4 races, so there is a good chance.
So anybody who's watching, who's thinking about jumping off, we've got reverse grid.
So yes, stay here as well, don't go anywhere, because there are 3 more races here tonight on the iRacing British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. Adam, run us through the contenders then for the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah,
so we've basically got 2 halves of a pack here, so let's have a look then. Cars 15 down to 26, I think, because the reverse grid wheel is carried over from Phillip Island, so we haven't got the new one for this season still. Ashley Blake Hood, Maciej Sakovic, Nick McCarron, Philip Johansson, Ross Balfour, Russell Laidler, Wojciech Savidovic, Rob Plumley, Paul Smith, Nathaniel Simpson, Laura Bond, Dan Kraft are your cars that are eligible for the reverse grid poll then, Alex.
Here we go then. We do have the new and improved wheel this time as well, which is in the aftermath of that first lap crash. Actually, you can see the 2 cars getting together just on going into the carousel. So, right, here we go then. First time with the new wheel.
This one doesn't have my face on it, does it?
No, you're okay. We missed the full spinning. 21st. We're gonna get to 26. I don't think it's gonna make 26. It's close, but it's not. It's 21st.
Wojciech Savidovic then. The man that was fastest in practice.
Oh god.
Got a back
that's like perfect, isn't it?
And then got a back of the grid penalty.
He's happy about that.
He's going to be on pole position with Russell Laidler second. Ross Balfour, who had a great race too at Phillip Island, is going to be 3rd on the grid. 4th with Philip Johansson, 5th Nick McCarron.
Watch, I'll take the payment with PayPal, please. Thank you.
Yes, Watch. There is, you know, that's a it's a very interesting front 5 actually. There's people, slightly unknown quantities, a lot of potential. McCarron, for instance, who he's improving week by week, Adam. I mean, you know, you've probably seen him race a few more times than I have, and he came back. He was sort of middling around the midfield to the back, but looks like he's really knuckled down this season and he's provided some good performances.
Who are we referring to here?
Nick McCarron. Sorry.
Yeah, Nick McCarron, yeah. Drove for GT Omega last season and yeah, definitely got it underneath him here this season. So we'll see what he can do. We'll see what he can do in his second race.
And watch for Maciej Sakovic as well, because he's one of those drivers he's a bit like Dave Baker. I think he always manages to sort of sneak up towards the front. don't know if you've noticed that already, Adam.
Yes, I have.
Club
Yeah.
Series, but he does a lot of good things out there. There's just the magic sandwich, as Paul Smith likes to call it.
Yeah, well, he's only taken 2 wins, and his second win was last week. So, yeah, he gets the consistent finishes. It isn't all about those race wins.
That's a bit like Baker as well. Very few wins, very many high-scoring finishes. So, do not go anywhere for everybody watching here on iRacing Live, Apex Racing TV and Motors TV. We'll be back for 3 more rounds from the Watkins Glen International Circuit in the United States right after this commercial break. Stay with us.
I'm an engineer at iRacing. I put together vehicle models. Started earlier in the year with a partnership with Mazda and Long Road Racing Engineering, where they supplied us with access to the car data, access to their drivers to allow us to put together really high-level vehicle model, and it's turned out really well so far in the development stages.
These new MX-5s are incredible. Between the BF Goodrich tire and then all the suspension engineering that Long Road Racing and that Mazda has done, I've been very fortunate to be one of the lead development drivers for the new Global MX-5 Cup car. We've done a lot of R&D on not only suspension, but things that will not only improve the safety of the vehicle for racing, but also the longevity of it in a racing environment. A couple fun aspects have been for us, not only on the suspension development side, but the virtual world side with iRacing, actually mirroring some of the same, for instance, damper settings or brake pad changes that we've made for different compounds and such, and then we'll actually mirror that in iRacing. It's incredible to me how similar both when we're driving the car on the test day and then we're on the sim, that we're actually able to make changes in iRacing to the damper valving, and it correlates exactly to our findings on the racetrack.
It was quite interesting. It was sort of the first time in iRacing where we developed a car in the sim along with the manufacturer and a race team. Generally speaking, a team or a manufacturer will send us a data dump of information covering everything from tires to aero if the car is set up that way, all the mechanical bits. The big difference is those cars are generally already in production or already racing, and this go around it was essentially from scratch. When Long Road Racing received their cars, we started getting our first bits of data, and as they got more data, we got more data, and we were able to go back and forth in the sim and compare with how the car performs on the racetrack.
Me and my friends in this place gonna party.
After a short delay here to Apex Racing TV, Motor TV and iRacing Live for round 6 of the BSR Touring Car Championship powered by iRacing. Alongside Adam Bath and Alex Simpson will be along in a minute. I'm Andrew Woodhouse, and Adam, we saw a really interesting first race. Simon Field retains the lead of the Drivers' Championship, and he's only 12 points in front now, but what a cracking race we saw, and a great finish as well.
Yeah, Watkins Glen never fails to disappoint, and we saw it right there. Ashley Sutton holding on to the lead for 11 of the 12 laps, but it was the final one that counted, and Jamie Flick was just able to get by into that penultimate corner, just giving him a little bit of a nudge on the way through, and in the end Sutton ended up finishing in 4th place. But yeah, the championship looks like this, and heading into the second race of the evening, 5 minutes or so before we get going for the second race of the evening. Simon Field leads Alex Smolensky, only now by 12 points. Steny Chepelevsky in 3rd, Colin Cunniff in 4th, Richard Gore, the highest AM driver, still in the top 5 in the overall standings. Julian Janowski in 6th, Nick McCarron 7th, 8th Ashley Sutton for Race Up with CQ1, and rounding out the top 10 it's Paul Smith and Ross Balfour. You've still got to scroll through to find your Savidoviches and your Cats. Wojciech Savidovic is in 13th place, the man who's going to be on pole for race 2, the season 6 champion, and David Baker, the season 7 champion, is in 14th place, only 1 point behind him.
Yes, just a point behind Wojciech Savidovic, and actually just a point ahead of Laura Bond, who's had a much better start to this season than she did in the Winter Series previously. So some good performances there. Lee Berridge in 16th as well. We're going to see this standing sheet, Adam, evolving as the season goes on, and lots of different names I think are going to be there or thereabouts. So let's look at the AM category now. So Richard Gore leads the AM category by 26 points. That's ahead of Nick McCarron. Paul Smith is in 3rd, with Scott Malcolm in 4th and Laura Bond in 5th. And then the top 10 is rounded out by Lee Berridge, Robert Plumley, Craig McLeod-Evans, Roy Ververke and Jay Wright. So 50 cars on the grid, Adam. We're going to see some different names up there at the front. Is there anybody in this race? Of course, obviously Wojciech Savidovic is going to be the one to watch here, but who else can challenge him at the front?
Interesting to see what Nick McCarron does. Of course, a Pro-Am driver, currently sitting 2nd in the Pro-Am Championship. We'll see if he's got anything for Wojciech. Of course, cold tyres, as you can see, overcast conditions, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens in turn 1 and heading through the S's. We had all 50 cars getting through it there cleanly in the first race. However, when we were here in race 2 back in season 7, we did see one huge incident coming off of turn 1, so we'll see if that happens there. We'll look quickly also at the Teams Championship heading into this second race of the evening, and it's a Pro-Am team that's at the top of it. Apex Racing still ahead of a Sim Racer by 104 points. Friction Racing in 3rd, Simpson Racing in 4th. Spicer Hearts in 5th, 6th Race Hub with CQR, not good there. Finns tie joint 6th place with Alphala Tech, so not very interesting there. And Engine Oils Direct in 8th, and then the CQR Academy team in 9th, with Auto Mech in 10th, Eurochip Digital in 11th. That is incredible considering the team. Rob Fagg, Wojciech Savidovic, Andreas Katz all aboard there, and Hire Collecting Motorsport in 12th.
Abandoned ship, it sounds like. Much as all aboard, I think, with Eurochip Digital at the moment, but I'm sure they will move forward. One thing to point out is it is very close. There are only 57 points between Spicer Hart in 5th and the CQR Academy team in 9th, so it is all changed. Just look at the safest driver category, actually, and of the drivers that have completed all the races, it's Roy Ververke who is the safest driver. And remember, we saw Adam Roy Ververke last week pick up precisely no incidents in 4 races.
Yeah, that was an incredible achievement from him there, and only picking up 2 here, and I think it's very hard not to pick up an incident point at Watkins Glen, so 2 is still a fantastic achievement. Seeing who else has started 5 races. The other people that have started 5 races, Nick McCarron's picked up 5, Simon Field 5, so yeah, Nick
That's still pretty good, isn't it?
Very high up, yeah. In terms of the incidents, and in terms of incidents per race, that is equivalent to 0.4 incidents a race, and that is still very good from Roy Ververke, and he's picked up 3 0x's so far this season. So we've got 1 minute to go to the grid.
I believe are we joined by Alex Simpson again?
I'm back. Yeah,
he's back. There he goes. Alex, yeah, we were just talking about Roy Ververke, just 2 incidents in 5 races.
Yeah, amazing that is, and I think he won an official race as well this week. So,
well done to him. Yeah,
it's all going well for Roy at the minute.
He was very quick at the weekend, Adam, wasn't he? I was slightly surprised by his pace in the BSR Kia Club Series, because every week he just edges closer and closer to the front.
Yeah, he did a fantastic job in the Kia Club Series, and it was good to see him up there. And of course, the Kia Club Series on Sunday nights on Apex Racing TV, and of course on iRacing Live this season. So join me and Paul Smith for that. Paul Smith, of course, running in the field today, and we're at Spa-Francorchamps. So join us on Easter Sunday for some Kia Club Series action.
Yeah, it should be a good challenging test that for all the Kia Club Series drivers, including Maciej Sakovic, who's in this race here today, and he's going to be starting around the 5th or 6th, I think, on the grid for this one. And a few graduates of this Club Series, Alex, have already come up and shown some really good pace, such as the likes of Matthew Bunn and Stuart Atkinson, Sakovic, Hackerson, Paverke.
Never underestimate any of the Kia Club Series drivers. They're all quick, actually, and I think it was a bit of a feeder series before now, but it's almost standing on its own 2 feet at the moment, and drivers coming up are very, very strong.
I know from the front of that. I know from experience that the front of that field is excellent. Let's run through the top 10 of the grid then. Wojciech Savidovic on pole position, the champion of season now 6.
6, yes.
Season 6 champion, yes. We've had so many seasons. He's in first. Rusty Laidler in second. Ross Balfour third. 4th for McCarron. 5th for Sakovic. 6th, Ashley Blake Hood. Good to see him up there. Richard Gore in 7th. Joran Kaiser in 8th. Julian Janowski 9th. And Michael Schellbach in 10th. And we are almost ready as the cars stretch all the way back to the final corner here at Watkins Glen. But 49 cars to take the start once again. Red lights are on. And the green light is on again at Watkins Glen. Good start by Wojciech Savidovic, also by Laidler. Rusty Laidler for Alphalatech. Can he get a good run out of turn 1 and chase Wojciech Savidovic up the hill? Overcast conditions, remember, this is going to be the difficult one. When they come through the S's section then for the big car off there.
One car flying through the air. I think it was the CQR Academy car, and he's back on. No, it's an Engine All Direct car. Eurochip, 2 Engine All Direct cars are around.
Number 10 car is off as well. Pete Newman. Oh, his horrible meeting continues. And I think it was it Kip Stevens again?
He's fine.
He's slow, but he's still going. So we lost Stuart Atkins and Pete Newman.
Andrew
Whitehead and Lee Berridge as well, also involved.
That must have been who it was.
Down towards then the penultimate corner, Savidovic and Laidler still 1 and 2. These two teams in desperate need of some points on the board, and there's some more cars off. There's a Eurochip Digital car off, and it's Jeroen Kaiser. He's back on, just forming behind Stelin Chepelevsky and just in front of Ashley Sutton, who's made a whole load of positions up already as we come across the line.
This is where, Adam, it could get slightly tense and slightly hairy here in this second race of the evening. Of course, drivers want to do the best they can.
Kaiser.
Very wide on the exit.
50 cars. Big one. Oh no! Here we go.
Track blockage and an Alphalatech. That's Chepelevsky going for a ride there.
And I think more contact.
And the safety car's being deployed.
And I think that's only right because
we have a track blockage here, and it's a whole load of the race up cars have been involved. They all start at the back, and it's not on Automech as well. Those two, of course, are very alike. And I think they ought to make a really good route there to try and get those cars through.
They ought to make some repairs.
So who was it who went 3 wide on the grass?
It was Kaiser and Ashley Sutton.
50 car I saw. Who's that?
Let's run it back, see what went on there.
Kaiser and Sutton, and then it all happened with the Alphalatech car.
It was the 50 car who decided to go on the grass, but I don't know if that was what caused it, was it?
Right, it's Ashley Sutton car 50 and Jeroen Kaiser 52, and it's Kaiser that comes back onto the track and hits the Alphalatech car, and then it's all off from there.
Actually, it wasn't. Sutton had nothing to do with that. Yeah, it was the 23. Janowski got turned
by Kaiser.
Yeah. So Kaiser having not a good start really to that one, going off on the first lap, and then the second lap causing an almighty carambolage there. And That was a real melee.
I tell you, some drivers were very lucky to get through that. Who's that in that Spicer Heart car? I think that's Jack McIntyre.
Half the field, I believe, are in the pit lane or have been. I think. Yeah.
I tell you what, there was people arriving at that incident so late. The track is completely blocked. Everyone's stopped, and they've just come steaming in there. I don't know who that is in the Spicer car there or whatever. They just come flying in.
Whoa! And sends a green car flying over.
It's like, hello, track is blocked.
Who was the green car?
Just trying to scroll through.
Is that Diogo Melro?
See if we can find who it is. The bright green car is. So I'll continue to scroll through. I think it actually might be Melro.
I think it's Melro, and
it is.
And the thing is, he comes through, and this is where I get. They can see the accident unfolding here, and they just sort of carry on as if nothing happened. Some of them, anyway. Oh dear, yeah.
So yeah, he's ground to a halt.
Who was that? How can you not see? Is that Rizzo? Is it Rizzo?
Let's have a look.
I think it's Rizzo, you know. How do you not see all that going on?
Sorry, Rizzo, but it's...
Sorry, mate, but that's just... that's appalling, to be honest.
Name and shame time. We're going on board.
Yeah.
I just have a car in front of him.
Yeah, it might be. See, we might be jumping the gun here. Oh, he is. He's got the car right in front. I mean, I can see the crash.
Oh, I can't see anything. Oh, no.
Right, he's braking. He's like, oh, shizzle. Oh,
you nearly got fired that time. To be fair, if he'd have gone for the middle, he might have been... Oh, no, he wouldn't, actually, to be honest.
Well,
he had no chance of making his way through there. Is the safety car still out?
Safety car's just finished its lap, and I think the lights are off, so we've got one more lap. Let's take stock then and look at the cars that did make it through. We've got Savidovic leading still, Russell Laidler second, Balfour third. It's probably as you were until we get outside the top 10. Shepelevsky and Fields rounding up the top 10. 11 Vitz, Kaiser still. He managed to carry on. I think rather guilty, might be a bit guilty after that. 12th, George Simmons, Jack McIntyre 13th, Jamie Fluke 14th, Sebastian J 15th, David Baker, one of the only race hub cars to make it through 16th, 17th Dan Kraft, 18th Laura Bond, 19th Nathaniel Simpson, and then rounding out the top 20 it's Andreas Katz, who's been able to benefit out of that. Ken Bracey, 39th to 22nd. And
just have a look at as well at all the cars on pit lane.
Let's have a look.
There's so many of them.
Well, we've got Newman, Whitehead, Atkinson, Berridge, Rizzo, aforementioned Rizzo, Melro, Scott Malcolm, Steve Hefford, Julian Janowski, Ashley Sutton, and Alex Smolensky, Matt Bunn, Paul Smith, as always, Roy Viverke. And then, so yeah, we've got cars 36th place down to 49. That's 13 cars in the pit lane.
Hackerson's going around with horrendous damage.
Cunniff's in the pits.
Oh yeah, it's
Plumley's in the pits.
That's crazy.
So we've got more than 13 cars. It's just that the timing screen hasn't updated itself.
So we will see that when we come round then to take the green flag, which actually Wojciech Savidovic is going to do very shortly. He's backing the pack up, using that traditional restart technique. He's going to wait for the safety car to come round to the pit lane, and then he's going to hit it. We have seen people make a mess of this, Alex, previously.
Yeah, we have.
Interlagos springs to mind.
Seems like it might be the race to do it as well.
I did ask you because I know that's your favourite thing is people bungling safety car restarts. So
I do love it. See him put the brakes on.
So here we go then. Has Wojciech Savidovic got it right? I think he has. He's going to be safe this time, and he's going to hit it now. And he got a good jump as well that time. So Wojciech Savidovic leads, followed by Russell Laidler in second, third for Ross Balfour, fifth for Nick McKerran, and sixth Magic Sakovic.
Sakovic in sixth, and straight away that Alvalatech car of not Richard Gore, who's the car in front, Shellback, trying to get past Ashley Blake Could right from the get-go. He was that one that was looking to the inside down the front straight and see if he's able to get a position straight away. I tell you who's looking to get a place straight away. It's Nick McKerran trying to get past Ross Balfour. He's right underneath the wing of that Friction Racing car.
And Richard Gore looking very good in the AM category as well, as is Nick McKerran after that. A lot of their competitors got skittled in that first second lap mayhem.
Balfour down the inside of the Alfa Latek car of Russell Laidler, forcing him a bit wide.
Almost a quarter panel there.
Down towards the penultimate corner
here
then.
Comes Nick McCarron, trying to make an opportunistic move down the inside into the second to last corner. It's going to be the outside for the final corner. This is where it might be a little bit of a problem for McCarron, because he's got Maciek Zakovic behind him in that CQR Academy car. Ashley Blake Hood is in there as well, and that's for which team is that?
Ashley Blake Hood driving there for what looks like
it's for Race Hub, isn't it?
Yes, Race Hub.
Yep.
Oh, Zakovic on the grass, and he's back on. I thought that was almost going to be a repeat of what we saw in race on lap 2 there, but unfortunately nothing happened, and Zakovic remains in his position now. He's got that Race Hub car.
Unfortunately or fortunately?
I think we'll say fortunately. He's got a Race Hub car now, Blake Hood underneath him. And who's that Eurochip digital car that's coming under a lot of pressure? He was having to take a defensive line. It's McIntyre trying to get past Kaiser.
Yeah, Kaiser's been in the walls here. Jack McIntyre was in the walls in the first race. He's trying to go around the outside of the carousel. Look at the 29 car of Jamie Fluke as well, reigning Winter Series champion. Just behind him, Sebastian Job just behind him as well. There's a big gaggle of fast guys, Alex. Right in the middle of that. Baker, Job, Fluke, Kraft.
Yeah, we're going to see some action there for sure. These two, Baker and Joe, have been side by side. Looks like Simmons and Field
having some action. Yeah, it was Simmons, doesn't it?
In and around that as well. That's really tight.
It's very difficult to make a move, Alex, into that final corner.
Yeah, almost impossible to be honest. But guys are getting it done. There's a
impossible is nothing to these guys and girls out there, I must admit.
So Baker and Kraft as well, side by side, coming out of turn 1. Some side by side ahead of them as well. That's McIntyre and Kaiser.
Oh, so close to hitting the Armco barrier there, and they're still in it. McIntyre v Kaiser, and who's that behind? It's Jamie Fluke, the Winter Series champion.
Oh, look at that! He got just with the door closed on him. Now he's in a position which is difficult. He's boxed in on the inside. Adam, it's a bit like when you do a long distance running race.
Kaiser's
made a mistake. Get himself out of there, yes, but then McIntyre's the one who actually loses out. Sebastian Job makes his way through, sides past the Eurochip digital car, it looks like, but Kaiser will have the inside line, and will he be able to just take that second to last corner and block Job off? Will Job be actually blocked off by Jamie Fluke?
Field on Gore as well.
UK teammate, but of course driving for different teams in this BSR Touring Car Championship. As Simmons, and that's a big twitch for McIntyre. He's into the wall. He's over. Is he on the racing line?
He is, but I think everyone should avoid him.
Avoided him.
Should do, and he's back to the pits.
He's got it out of the way too.
He's done a good job there, Jack McIntyre. I'm not exactly sure what happened to him. We have to see that later on, but
big crash! Eurochip Digital's around, and it's Andreas Katz, the season 8 and 3 champion, and a Race Hub car. David Baker, the only Race Hub car that seemed to be having some sort of a good race, has now been involved in another crash. So it's gone awfully wrong for Race Hub. I think the only driver they've got left is their reserve driver, and it's Ashley Blake Hood.
I don't think Baker could steer after that big suspension damage for the Race Hub with CQR driver.
There's a lot of battles going on out there, but we'll take a look at the replay. That all stemmed.
Where's Wojciech Savidovic? Oh, he's disappeared. Goodness me.
Still in the lead.
Still
he
there.
Disappeared for a few seconds.
Katz has just jumped up the timing sheet, hasn't he? Because he's towed back. So, just a bit of a infamous quarter panel, that one, if there ever was.
What happened? Did you see what happened to McIntyre?
Same thing. He was in that same group with them and just got caught. The same. It just spun him into the wall.
And he twitched a bit, didn't he? Balfour having a look on Laidler.
Whoa!
And Shellback. Bit of a pincer movement from Alfa Latek.
Trying to get past Balfour there down into turn 1, but Balfour's got a good run on the exit. He's now right underneath the spoiler there of the second place man, Russell Laidler. Russell Laidler really stalwart the BSR TC, heading off of the SSN, and Balfour doesn't get the best run. I'll tell you what, who has got a good run? It's Ashley Blake Hood.
I don't know. Balfour
on the back of Mick McCarron.
Balfour does have a good slipstream now, Adam. Didn't look like a great initial run. But look at that, he's overlapped him, and he's into. Yes, he's in front of the 60 car of Russell Laidler, but not for long as Laidler fights back on the inside for Alfa Latek.
And Shellback trying to force a path through the middle. Surely
Now,
no way through there.
Balfour needs to keep the door closed, otherwise Michael Shellback's going to come through. But Balfour is through, and Shellback's going for the inside.
How
and he
close
can't
that
quite
was.
make it stick. Ross Balfour, tremendous driving there, and really he's been excellent since the Northern Irish driver has been excellent since his move into this series.
Oh, it's
Grace.
very close behind. Just look at that battle. That's Simmons, Gore, Sakovic there.
Blake Hood, the 61 down the inside of the 60 car. That's Russell Laidler again. Laidler needs to be careful he doesn't continue to lose places, as Nick McCarron is there as well. Richard Gore, Jamie Fluke. It's good to see those Apex Racing Academy cars, Alex, up into the top 10, 11 place. We've got 3 of them up there.
Stellion right on the back of Job as well. A very good run going through the S's there.
Job on Gore as well. Gore needs to get the slipstream off his teammate, otherwise he will be prey to, like I say, what's effectively his other teammate, but it's not. The driver from different teams. Sebastian Job knows these two very, very well indeed.
Battle for second again.
Yep, battle for second, and here comes Shellback round the outside of Balfour,
Oh,
and Balfour
wow.
gives him just enough space.
I don't think he gave him any room whatsoever there, but Michael was taking it. Nonetheless, he was like, no, no sir, that is my line. Get over.
Sometimes you have to do that in touring car racing. Adam, you have to force through the door. You have to make the opening for yourself, and that's what Michael Shellback did with great effect that time.
Here we go then, on to the penultimate lap. Balfour now down to third place after taking that second place away. Just a few laps to go. We see if he's able to get it back. But look at this train. We've got Shellback, Balfour, Russell Laidler, Ashley Blake Hood, Nick McCarron, Simon Fields, and then just in the
Sakovic
background,
wide.
Sakovic running wide and coming under pressure from Simmons.
Yeah, he got a reasonable run, Sakovic, but just starting to be dropped now by this pack. And Alex, it's very difficult once you lose the slipstream in front to bridge that gap back to the next group.
Yeah, almost impossible to be honest, especially around this circuit as well. The draft plays such a large role.
Sakovic, the inaugural.
I'm just looking at 20th and 21st. This is Dan Hunt and Simpson here. They were side by side through the S's.
Oh man, and behind them as well, Atkins and I think that's Ken Bracey possibly as well. They're not. It's Jay Wright and Ken Bracey as well.
And Kip Stevens, they're all sort of having their own little individual battles.
Who's that on the inside in the CQR car as well? The 40. That 40 is Liam Atkins.
Onto the final lap then.
Final lap already.
Final lap already, yeah. That includes the safety car. Wojciech Savidovic 2.6 seconds ahead of Shellback in second. And looks like these lot are all line astern. They'll have one more opportunity to try and get a run through the S's and up down the back straight. We'll see if Balfour can take that second place away from Shellback then, up through the S's. Using a bit of that curb on the inside there, Balfour just trying to get a good run, and he has. He has got a very good run on Shellback coming off of the corner.
Into the wall. Fields hit the wall at the top of the hill.
Got any damage? It doesn't
little
look
bit.
like it.
It's killed his momentum though. Balfour
It was
alongside.
quite a hard hit that. He was lucky to survive really. I've seen drivers get spat across the circuit with
Around
that
the outside.
and flukes around the outside of Sakovic.
Around the outside goes Balfour, but he needs to try and stay with him, but he's going to lose out possibly to the other Alfa Latek car, Russell Laidler. He's not too careful. Down towards the penultimate corner then, Savidovic is away, and Russell Laidler trying to cut down the inside. There was just not enough room, but he's going around the outside into the final corner.
And it's going to be victory for Wojciech Savidovic. This one is going to count, and this one
Drag race to the line for third.
will push him up the standings massively and Shellback into second place. And it looks like Balfour took third.
He did.
On the line from Laidler and Blake Hood in fifth, Field sixth, seventh McCarron, eighth Jamie Fluke, ninth Richard Gore, 10th Sebastian Job. Tell you what, that was really fast and furious. That short little sprint after the safety car seemed to only take a couple of minutes, but that was action packed and some really good quality driving at the front, Adam.
Yeah, these races are already sprint races, but after the safety car, it's a super sprint race really to the end. And great driving at the front, good battles there, especially between Balfour and the two Alfa Latek cars. And well done for Balfour for getting a podium. Shellback from 10th to second. And Simon Field as well, even though he hit the Armco barrier on the final lap, he got 14th to 6th in the end.
Yep, and don't forget there are going to be 2 more races tonight, so do not go anywhere if you're interested in seeing some more British Sim Racers touring car action.
We've got a promotional code as well to give away.
Yeah, we do indeed. So there is a code which is if you use the code race-hub space BSRTC, you get 20% discount on using the simulators at the race hub at Brands Hatch as well. And we've also got promotional code, Alex, for iRacing as well.
Yeah, of course. Head over to iRacing, become a member. You feel like giving it a try, you can get 3 months for the price of 1, and that is using promotional code PR-BSRTC. So you fancy giving this a little whirl? Head on over to iRacing, sign up, use that promotion code, and you can jump in and have a play with the new Mazda that we showed during the advert break.
And we need to reiterate, there is more to come.
Yes, there is more to come. 2 more races, 2 more 12-lap sprints here at the Watkins Glen International with 49 Kia Optimas. All you need as well, if you want to join in the fun here on iRacing, a good, pretty decent PC, a basic wheel and pedal set. You can use a controller, as we've said, and but you know, I know from experience it's not the easiest thing. So get yourself a round thing that you can turn, and you're going to be doing pretty well, I think, there. But iRacing, lots of license progression, safety ratings to, you know, prevent the crashes. We don't like crashes on iRacing. We get rid of them by using the safety rating system. And Alex, it pretty much works for the most part, doesn't it?
Yeah, for the most part, the system's really great. You know, you're going to get the inevitable, like we've seen in this race here. Unfortunately, when there's nowhere for the crash cars to go, the big ones can happen.
All right, and speaking of the big one, we've got another big reverse grid, and actually, even if we get a full reverse grid this time, it's only going to go down to 27. So, it's going to be interesting here to see what we end up with, Alex. Well, Adam, sorry, first to read through the contenders.
Yeah, we'll run you through the top 10 finishers first, and then we'll do the drivers that are eligible. Savinovic takes the win then, Shellback in second, Ross Balfour in third, Russell Laidler fourth, Ashley Blake Hood in fifth, sixth Simon Field, seventh Nick McCarron, eighth Jamie Fluke, our race one winner, ninth Richard Gore, 10th Sebastian Jobe. Let's have a look at the cars that are eligible for the reverse grid. It's actually 16 down to 26, or a full. In which this case will be 27. So the cars are eligible: Rob Fagg, Jamie Rushworth, and I'm sure Jamie Rushworth will be hoping for a reverse grid pole because Race Hub with CQR definitely have not had a good night. Rob Graham, Dan Hunt, Liam Atkins, Craig Evans, Nathaniel Simpson, Kip Stevens, Jay Wright, Ken Bracey, Ben Hackerson, or if we get a full, the Pro-Am champion from last season, John Roberts, will be on pole. So over to you, Alex. Who's going to be on pole for the third race of the evening?
Right then, for the second time, let's take a quick look, see who's going to get it. Start off where we left off before. 23rd, I think it's going to be 19th. It is. There's no way it's reaching 21st. 19th, reasonable reverse grid then.
Well, after having a huge incident in race 1 and getting a 0, Dan Hunt's going to be very happy with this. After a 19th place in race 2, he's going to be the man on pole position. Auto Mech are going to be making a front row start with Rob Graham in second, Jamie Rushworth in third, Rob Fagg fourth, and Dan Craft in fifth.
Yeah, it's shaping up to be quite a good grid. Your own Kaiser right in the middle of that as well. You know, he needs to make sure that I think that he just has a good solid race. George Simmons, we haven't seen a great deal of him today apart from a little bit in that last race. Stelin Chepelevsky following them, so he's going to be starting fourth, fifth Maciek Sarkovic, sixth Sebastian Jobe. Jobe might be an outsider well, not an outsider, but he might be a good contender for this race. I think he's not been spectacular so far this season, really, has he? But he's done. I think he won a race last week, didn't he? But that's what we expect from him, really, isn't it, Alex? At this point.
Sorry, Andrew. I was too busy looking at the chat. I have to confess, professionalism at its utmost, of course.
Well, on that bombshell, then, we'll leave you to it. But we're going to be back right after this break on Motors TV, iRacing Live, and Apex Racing TV, of course. We're going to see you soon, right after this break, for more from the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship.
I'm an engineer at iRacing. I put together vehicle models. Started earlier in the year with a partnership with Mazda and Long Road Racing Engineering. where they supplied us with access to the car data, access to their drivers to allow us to put together a really high-level vehicle model, and it's turned out really well so far in the development stages.
These new MX-5s are incredible. Between the BF Goodrich tire and then all the suspension engineering that Long Road Racing and that Mazda has done, I've been very fortunate to be one of the lead development drivers for the new Global MX-5 Cup car. We've done a lot of R&D on not only suspension, but things that will not only improve the safety of the vehicle for racing, but also the longevity of it in a racing environment. A couple fun aspects have been for us, not only on the suspension development side, but the virtual world side with iRacing, actually mirroring some of the same, for instance, damper settings or brake pad changes that we've made for different compounds and such, and then we'll actually mirror that in iRacing. It's incredible to me how similar both when we're driving the car on the test day and then we're on the sim, that we're actually able to make changes in iRacing to the damper valving, and it correlates exactly to our findings on the racetrack.
It was quite interesting. It was sort of the first time in iRacing where we developed a car in the sim along with the manufacturer and a race team. Generally speaking, a team or a manufacturer will send us a data dump of information covering everything from tires to aero if the car is set up that way, all the mechanical bits. The big difference is those cars are generally already in production or already racing, and this go around it was essentially from scratch. When Long Road Racing received their cars, we started getting our first bits of data, and as they got more data, we got more data, and we were able to go back and forth in the sim and compare with how the car performs on the racetrack.
Me and my friends in this place gonna party.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Welcome back to Watkins Glen for round 7 of the season of the iRacing British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. Andrew Woodhouse with Adam Bath and Alex Simpson once again from the Watkins Glen International Circuit, New York State in the USA. Alex, we saw a good performance from Wojciech Savidovic, starting from pole position. He's not going to be on pole this time though, having said that. He's got a task ahead of him.
No, the only downside about winning the second race is that the third one's always a lot tougher. Of course, this season, though, 4 races makes a big difference because they can get themselves, get back up there and try and get a decent reverse for the final race. So, actually, I don't think Wojciech's going to have too bad points or at the end of the meeting if he can, get a good race in now and get up the grid a little bit.
Already up to 5th in the championship, Adam.
Yeah, he leads with 10 places after that second race win. But Simon Field has definitely got a bigger advantage than he had going into race 2. 30 points ahead of Chepolewski. Richard Gore, though, definitely doing brilliantly for the AM drivers, as is Nick McCarron. They're both 3rd and 4th now in the standings, so ahead of a whole load of champions, the likes of Savidovic and Katz, who once again has not had another good race meeting after crashing out in spectacular fashion in race 2. And Richard Gore, Nick McCarron, only 19 points between them in the Pro-Am Championship. However, they're nearly 100 points ahead of the next AM driver in that championship. Yeah,
and it's going to be interesting to see. Obviously, we've got a heck of a long way to go. We've got about another 120 races left, Alex, but it's always interesting to see who's up there at the start of the season.
Yeah, I mean, as we saw...
car off.
Or two.
Robert Graham there, off massively there.
As we saw last season, though, those that do have a good start, can follow it through. Jay Wright comes to, John Roberts comes to mind. Great opening, sort of 4 or 5 rounds, really got him into a strong position, and he was able, I'll be honest, he had a lull, didn't he, in the middle of the season, but those opening rounds really made the difference to him, and he was able to hold on to the showdown positions and then actually get the championship in the end.
Yeah, and he was. Yeah, you're right. I mean, Adam, he wasn't very good, Job, for a certain part of the season in the middle, but yeah, he managed to fight through that. Looking at this grid, then it's Daniel Hunt, isn't it, on pole position? He must be the favourite here.
I think so, yeah, but he was leading the majority of the race last season, only to spin out with 2 laps to go, so it's never over till the checkered flag comes out. But I think
was one of my favourite races, by the way, as well. That was a great race.
And was it the same race where it ended up with the Apex cars being 1, 2, 3? I think it might have been, actually. I think he was leading, and then he crashed out, and then it was Apex Racing to take a 1, 2, 3. But yeah, I think he runs well on the North American tracks. Well, his stats say so. So yes. I think he's got a good shot at taking the win. We'll have to look at the rest of the grid when it comes out.
Well, the likes of Daniel Hunt. Do you remember last year he won the Media Day event at Monza? He seems to like the faster circuits.
Yeah. I think maybe. I wonder whether like the slipstreaming suits him, or yeah.
I mean, there's probably some other stats somewhere to tell us that that's complete nonsense, and he's won at many slow tracks in the past. But there goes Kaiser. That's revenge somewhat for the second lap last time round. But yeah, there's a big variety of tracks in this BSR TC, and Alex, I think that's why it makes it such a good championship.
I mean, no matter where you look in this field as well, the competition's just so hard, and everybody's got a good chance. I think Dan, we picked up on like you say some quick. I'm sure he's won some slow speed tracks as well. So I think you're right. It's going to be tough for anyone to beat him here. He has been quick all season long, and he picked up a few races, I'm sure, last season as well from the same sort of getting some good reverse grids, as did Simon Field was a standout driver at the end of last season, just picking up those second and third races that he used to win. So you've got to use these races. When you get put onto the pole position, this type of driver, these type of drivers that can compete towards the front, like Wojciech did last race. He led that race from start to finish. Dan needs to do exactly the same here.
You have to take advantage of these opportunities when they present themselves to you. Adam, can you quickly take us through the top 10 on the grid?
Yeah, I think we've got about 20 seconds or so. So Dan Hunt on the pole, Automech on the front row of Rob Graham, Jamie Rushworth third, Rob Fagg fourth, Dan Kraft fifth, Jerome Kaiser is in sixth, seventh George Simmons, eighth Stelian Chepelevsky, Michałek Stakovic in ninth, and running out the top 10 it's Sebastian Job. So very competitive top 10 there.
Yeah, definitely it is. A lot of talent in there, a lot of race winners, and I'm sure we're about to see a really exciting race 3. So once again, all the Kia Optimas firing up now for 12 laps of Watkins Glen. As the green light is on, it is a fairly even start. Oh, but look at Jamie Rushworth. He's got a really good second phase, and Jamie Rushworth is going to go down into the lead there, the former champion. Oh, there's a bit of contact there, and that's the 32 turning. That was Robert Graham. Was it Robert Graham getting turned? No, it's Dan Kraft. Dan Kraft got turned, and he's all the way at the back now.
So who's that elevated into third place? Then it's Rob Fagg, then George Simmons, then it is Robert Graham, then Chepelevsky. Everyone trying to work their way through.
Here we go. A bit further back too. It looks like a sim racer's car and an engine oil direct car there as well. We were okay. Jay Wright, unfortunately, looks like he might be out though. There's a car on his roof who's definitely...
Oh, big crash down at the carousel. We've got two Eurochip digital cars over. We've got a Race Hub car flipping over and over. I don't know who that is there. It's still flying.
Robert Fagg is off. Jamie Rushworth is out.
Jamie Rushworth.
Daniel Hunt from the lead is involved as well. It was all the leaders getting together, wasn't it?
Just bringing a replay up and now see what's going on.
The leaders took each other out.
Yes. It is down the back straight. Oh, it was the Eurochip digital car trying to go 3 wide. Who was that?
Robert Fagg.
Robert Fagg trying to go 3 wide. I think it looks well from my far angle. It looks like it, and then they all get together.
Oh no! And then actually there was a twitch from. There was a big twitch coming from Jamie Rushworth's car as well.
I'm just watching it
all
back
into
now.
one.
On another replay, just see if we can see a better angle. Lots kicking off in the third race then.
And how everyone survived. Job is out as well, I think. So if he's not out, at least he's very much damaged. But that was just a big problem all around that. And they were lucky that one of the cars actually disappeared, so nobody else just piled into the back of him. George Simmons is in the lead then. He's got Stelian Chepelevsky about an inch or 2 away, and he's got a great run out of now as they head towards the penultimate corner here at Watkins Glen on the classic layout. Is Stelian Chepelevsky going to make the move? No, he doesn't. He survives that one. Does George? Oh, car over. Car rolling down the back straight. That's the 3 car. David Baker.
Oh, Race Hub's evening just gets worse and worse. I don't think... And is it Ashley Blake Hood? Yeah, he's the man that's having to soak up all the pieces of what's been an awful... Oh, crash on the front straight, and it's Graham. Graham flipping over down the front straight. Is everyone going to miss him? He's still going, in fact. And he hits...
Is
that another Race Hub car that he's hit? Ashley Sutton.
Stop.
And he's back.
We're on replay as well, so we should be able to see that.
Who's that 3 wide as well? It was...
Baker, yeah.
What happened to Baker, Alex?
Yeah, no, we're just watching that really. Just a car ran wide and then come back on, and it just, just a nightmare. And like you say, just watching this. Rob Graham was just slow in the middle. Just looked like he lifted off, and down the straight. I don't get that. And
disaster.
He'll be very dizzy in that car, that's for sure.
Ridiculous scenes here, Adam.
Oh, yeah.
Start of this BSR TC race.
And while we're looking at that replay, I think George Simmons has lost the lead to Chepelevsky. Chepelevsky now leads Fluke second, George Simmons in third. Ashley Blake Hood trying to restore some points for Race Hub with CQR, and they're coming up on a lapped car
as well. Lee Berridge.
Here comes,
and he's going to have to get out of the way of 40 other cars.
Here comes an Apex car trying to get past with the pink on the bottom. Richard Gore trying to go down the inside of Russell Layla. Richard Gore who wants to... Oh, and I was about that engine oil direct car getting out of the way. Richard Gore, even though he's a Pro-Am driver, is doing a fantastic job here. He seems to be the only one that seems to be getting consistent finishes out of anyone here. And we were saying just before the race started, look at all that talent in the top 10. I think it's pretty much all been wiped out, Andrew, in the first 2 laps.
Yeah, and Richard Gore third in the championship, and he's got a good run on Rusty Laidler here. And he's going to go through. Laidler's got some aero damage on that Alfala Tech car. No Ray Alfala, incidentally, this week.
Battle for the lead as well.
Sim Racer magazine.
Round the outside goes Jamie Fluke, yeah, and I think that'll help the reserve drivers if Sim Racer have got any. And down towards the penultimate corner, it looks like Jamie Fluke, the race 1 winner, is about to take the lead away from Chepelevsky, and he has.
Yep, and Jamie Fluke then hits the front. The first time tonight, actually, isn't it?
Fluke, of course, playing catch-up because he had to miss the final race last week, didn't he?
Of course, it was St. Patrick's Day last week, and due to us running late into the night due to some issues with iRacing, he wasn't able to take part in the 4th race. Down the inside goes Ross Balfour. Oh, sorry, round the outside goes Ross Balfour, and Simon Field, the championship leader. I think that's a change for position anyway. The Friction Racing car getting past the Simpson Racing car as we head up through the S's on what is lap 5 now of 12. So we're nearly at half race distance, and I think we've had enough craziness for just the half of it. We'll see what happens in the other half of the race.
Ross Balfour's been a massive pickup for Friction Racing, Alex, and you wouldn't have expected him to be so prominent so far this season, but he's up there mixing it with the very quick boys at the front.
Very confident in this Kia after just a couple of races, and yeah, he doesn't mind you know, giving them a good old battle as well. You know, he'll shove it up the inside or whatnot. And right now it looks like he's going to have a go at Richard Gore. Gore was trying to go for Simon Field but couldn't quite pull it off and had to get out of it, and Balfour straight there taking the position.
Gore was side by side with Michael Shellback there. The Field, the championship leader, trying to take the position away from Ross Balfour. That's for 9th place. And Field with a 30-point advantage. His nearest challenger, of course, it's very early to be talking about the championship, but we may as well since we have it in front of us, is Selin Chepelevsky, and he's up in P2 at the minute.
In P3 in the championship, Alex Malensky is down in 21st, so very topsy-turvy this second race meeting of the season.
It's actually Richard Gore, Adam, who's in 3rd.
Yeah, and Richard Gore in 3rd.
Overall.
In 3rd overall, so yeah, and he's in 10th, so he's right with Simon Field.
Maciek Sakovic is in that pack as well. Well, it's just in front of that pack, actually. He's on his own, isn't he? Is the Magic Sandwich. And Ashley Blake Hood on the back of that pack now. The top 5 have broken off. It's Fluke, Chepelevsky, Simmons, Savinovic, and Blake Hood. Savinovic has had a good start, Adam, up to 4th from 19th on the grid.
So we've had our race 1 and race 2 winners are both inside the top 5, so they've been able to capitalise brilliantly on those 2 huge wrecks we saw at the start of race 3, and they've got a good shot at taking a win perhaps. We could also see some first time winners this season. We could see George Simmons take a victory, or even Ashley Blake Hood, and let's see what happens. So we're coming around to complete lap 6. Savinovic has a little look to the inside there on the car in front of him, which is George Simmons, just no way through at the moment. What was it the lap times last time around? Savinovic was just a little bit slower, but of course they're running so tightly together that lap times don't really seem to be mattering at this moment.
No, and Jamie Fluke, who had quite a poor meeting last week, he's definitely making amends for that this week, and he gets a nice run out of turn 1 and actually gets himself, I'm going to say out of danger. It might not be quite out of danger. It may just give himself allow Chepelevsky to just have a longer slingshot at him as they power down to the carousel. But now Chepelevsky can't pull out from the slipstream because George Simmons is there, and George Simmons is trying to go around the outside, and Alex, that's a brave move out there in the marbles.
Yeah, it is, and he might well have held it off. Oh, just has to bump Chepelevsky a little bit just to give him a bit of room, and Cheppy does.
And Danny inside into the penultimate corner, he's through. Good move there from George Simmons. We'll see if Savinovic is able to capitalise on Stelin Chepelevsky through the final corner to start lap 8. Jamie Fluke pulling an advantage now.
Yeah, and George Simmons, Adam, who was very quick in the Winter Series, but also did cause quite a few accidents, it has to be said. He's doing a really good job today.
Yeah, he got a front row start at Zolder, I think, which was just on Motors TV a few days ago, and ended up causing a huge wreck, which got him disqualified from race 1.
That wasn't really... Yeah, I would say that was one of the ones that was probably the least part his fault, but yeah, still involved in everything, it seems. One at Road Atlanta as well, I believe.
They're Constantino big time in turn 1. This is way down in, this is 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th. That was Janowski, Bung, Cunniff and Richardson. They all literally just hit each other in turn 1 there.
Julian Janowski, I think he had a poor first race and maybe a poor second actually. Adam, because he started in 43rd place and he's been so strong the last few weeks. He's already up to 24th. A lot of carnage, of course, but it doesn't seem like he's really gelling greatly with this Watkins Glen International.
No, and he was fantastic in the Winter Series as well, and was
last week even,
and in last week as well at Phillip Island. So maybe it's just a different layout here, maybe the conditions as well, and I think really just getting involved in that pack really that hasn't helped. I wonder if he had a penalty that carried over from the last race meeting that made him start at the back, and maybe he's been on the back foot since then onto lap 9 now.
That's easy for you to say, isn't it? That
yeah.
Alex,
it's past 10 o'clock.
Alex, you're used to these massive grids, albeit not such close racing as let's just see this down the inside. Attempting to go down the inside of Janowski is Matt Bunn, but he can't quite make it stick. What's the mentality like, Alex? It's such a great big pack, especially on a track like Watkins Glen.
It is tough. I mean, you want to make some places up, so there's a bit of frustration creeps in when you can't get by because of the slipstream of the cars around you. And sometimes they'll be checking up a bit early because everyone's a little bit hesitant with what's going on out there. So when you're so close, you're a bit nervous because you can't be seeing an awful lot either.
Simmons attacking Jamie Fluke. Is he going to go around the outside? Is he going to keep it on the course? He does, and he's going to have the inside line. He's going to make a great move, is he again? But Fluke uses the camber of that slightly banked final corner to slingshot his way down the main straight. Who's going to take the lap lead? It's going to be Fluke again, but it's by only half a tenth, and this time he cuts across the front of George Simmons and retains the lead. And I think there's a little bit of contact there. It's Chepelevsky. Savidovic is watching, and if anybody knows how to pick his way through a sticky situation at the end of the race, Adam, it's no doubt Wojciech Savidovic.
Simmons in the wall, and that's going to allow the run for the car behind the Alfa Latek car of Chepelevsky. But what about Savidovic then heading down the straight? I'm sure he's going to give the Alfa Latek car a push. He's going 3 wide. Hold your breath. And he's through. He's got past Simmons, but is he going to get past Chepelevsky into the carousel? Round the outside he goes. Is he going to be able to carry the speed through and take that second place away? He'll have 2 laps to try and get to Jamie Fluke if he does. And I think actually he's got it done. Yes. What a great move.
Yeah. What a great move by Wojciech Savidovic, a man who could have easily won the championship in 2015. I think Simmons actually may have had a slowdown. I wonder if that's how close he got to the inside wall.
Yeah, he had to hit the. You see him hit the brakes halfway down the straight, so.
That's why he's now right on the rear end of Chepelevsky, trying to pressure again the Bulgarian driver into mistake. Ashley Blake has just dropped off that little group a little there. 2 seconds behind George Simmons and 2 seconds ahead of Simon Field. And Field has broken that group. The 3 wide between Balfour, Sakovic and Shellback.
Sakovic gets hit. And into Balfour, but they somehow survive.
This is going to be messy.
Back onto the track.
Balfour. He'll be loving that. Have a bit of that. He's into that lead of that little group there.
I think that was Richard Gorey. Had a great run on them as well, but was just so fearful of it just going into a big mess that he just checked up. He didn't want any of it.
Already
now
in
he's a bit
mode, Richard Gore.
I was about to say he's a bit vulnerable already, and battle for the lead side by side. Svidovic and Fluke. He's already done this move once. That's close.
Fluke, is he going to run him off the track? Not quite.
I thought he got him clear then, but Svidovic was able to get alongside.
He knows. Jamie Fluke knows exactly how to fight this battle at the end of the race. He did that with Ashley Sutton in race 1, and he took the victory in forceful style. Is he going to do that again? With this time Wojciech Savidovic, the champion of season 6.
He runs very wide through the exit then. Nearly gets into that tyre barrier, that inviting tyre barrier on the outside. Onto the final lap of the race, and it's these 4 going at it for the 3rd race of the night. The front 2, Savidovic and Fluke, have already won a race tonight. They won race 2 and race 1 respectively. Let's see if they can take a 3rd race victory tonight. Or will it be Chepelevsky and Simmons who are watching in 3rd and 4th?
Has Wojciech made that move 1 lap too early, Alex?
Quite possibly. Jamie's definitely got a good chance of getting a run here. It's whether or not he can hold it round the outside like he did on Ashley Sutton in the first race.
Here he goes, he's got the overlap, he may clear him here.
Here we go then into the carousel. Is he going to be able to carry the speed through? Savidovic though has been doing the move as well, so he'll know how to position the car. And is there just enough grip on the outside? There is enough grip.
Jamie
and Savidovic forces him a little bit wide. 2 wheels onto the grass, just like what Sutton did to him in race 1. But I think he's
wide
through.
enough. Is Savidovic going to have a lunge like Fluke did? Here comes Wojciech Savidovic down the inside. Is it a carbon copy? No. Jamie Fluke does avoid the contact, and Simmons through on Chepelevsky in the final corner. Is Chepelevsky going to hold that as we head towards the line for the final race? The final lap of the race. Jamie Fluke takes his second win of the evening from Wojciech Savinovic on the final lap. George Simmons third, Chepelevsky in fourth. Fifth is Ashley Blake Hood. Great performance from him. Simon Field in sixth. Mikhail Schellbach in seventh. Eighth, Ross Balfour. Ninth for Ashley Sutton. And 10th for Maciek Sakovic.
Wow, what a race. And yeah, it all started really from the word go. The leaders taking each other out in the reverse grid. 19th to 2nd for Wojciech Savinovic in the end. But it's that favourite start time. Cars that started inside the top 10 that finished there. Only 2 did. Only 3 did, in fact.
Did, yeah.
3
That's
did.
it.
And yeah, and most of them started outside the top 15 were involved in the top 10 by the end of the race. And
Tell you what, though, Dan Craft, Robert Graham, Jamie Rushworth, Rob Fagg, Daniel Hunt, you missed a heck of an opportunity here, because it was all self-inflicted, wasn't it, from all of them, really?
You have to agree that, do they need to go that aggressive on that first lap? I don't think so. There's big points. Love loss, you know how much you lose when you get a DNF as well. So
also got to say, huge. You're doing that in front of the whole pack, Alex, too. You could cause a 50-car pile-up, essentially, having 3 wide on lap 1 when you're at the front of the field.
Well, yeah, true, but I don't think you're worried about what goes on behind, are you? If you want to pick up a place or two or that, with a move like that, you're not worried about what's going on behind. So
because you're most likely going to be in it. Well, we've got one more race, of course, to come tonight. And God knows what's going to happen in that one after the attrition rate that happened in race 3 here. Let's have a look at the finishing order then. Jamie Fluke takes his second win of the night. The Winter Series champion beats Wojciech Savinovic by just over 0.3 of a second. George Simmons in third, Stanislav Chepelevsky in fourth, Ashley Blake Hood in fifth. Doing a brilliant night, a consistent night, more importantly, for race up with CQR. Simon Field, the championship leader, in 6th, 7th Michael Schellbach, 8th Ross Balfour again, 9th Ashley Sutton from 41st on the grid. I'm sure he's had an entertaining third race there. And then 10th BSR Kia Club Series driver Maciej Sakovic, Russell Laidler 11th, 12th Richard Gore, 13th Nick McCarron, 14th Liam Atkins, 15th Nathaniel Simpson, 16th Laura Bond, 17th Ben Hackerson, 18th Alex Malensky, 19th Paul Smith, and 20th it was John Roberts, 21st Craig Evans, 22nd Rob Plumley, Pete Newman 23rd from 49th, Julian Janowski 24th from 43rd, Colin Cunniff in 25th, 26th Roy Vaverki, 27th Matthew Bunn, 28th Dan Hunt, the pole sitter, finished in 28th place, 29th Steve Richardson, 30th for Rob Fagg, 31st Rick Scott, 32nd Andrew Whitehead, 33rd Scott Malcolm. And then the cars that were 1 lap down or more. Lee Berridge 34th, however he'll still get points because he finished only 1 lap down. And then the cars that did not classify, it is Steve Hefford, Andreas Katz, Cesare Rizzo, Diogo Molro, Dan Craft, Robert Graham, Stuart Atkinson, Jack McIntyre, Ken Bracey, David Baker, Jerome Kaiser, Jamie Rushworth, Sebastian Jobe, Kip Stevens and Jay Wright. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars that started inside the top 10 did not score any points in that third race.
This has been an awful night for Kip Stevens. I've never remembered him having such a terrible race meeting. Ever. I think he's just been...
It's 3 DNFs now, isn't it?
It's 3 DNFs, and I think it's 3 nearly last place finishes. And he was back of the grid, I think, in possibly 30th odd in qualifying. So
I think when we did this intro piece about being at the most wide open championship ever, I don't remember it being. Didn't expect it to be this wide open. And I know we're only 7 races into the championship, but there's no form, guys, at all from this. Well, let's have a look.
We need to see the reverse grid because we need to get the session up, I guess, as quickly as we can.
Let's have a look then. Cars 16 down to 26. Laura Bond, Ben Hackerson, Alex Malensky, Paul Smith, John Roberts, Craig McLeod-Evans, Rob Plumley, Pete Newman, Julian Janowski, Colin Cunniff, Roy Vaverki, or if we get a full, we'll have 34 cars reversed, and that will put Lee Berridge onto the pole. So who's going to be on the front of the grid for the 4th and final race of the night, Alex?
Right, here we go then. I accidentally clicked the button beforehand, so that one won't count, but we'll go again. '23rd, 19th, looks like 21st. Yep, it's not going to keep us in suspense. Right in the middle, 21st.
Craig Evans then is on to pole, with John Roberts second, Paul Smith third, Alex Smolenski fourth, and Ben Hackerson in fifth.
Alright, so Craig McLeod Evans has the dubious honour of being put on pole position for race 4. So don't go anywhere, guys. Thanks for joining us all the way through the night. We still have one more to go here at Watkins Glen. The British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship, powered by iRacing, Watkins Glen International Circuit.
I'm an engineer at iRacing. I put together vehicle models. Started earlier in the year with a partnership with Mazda and Long Road Racing Engineering, where they supplied us with access to the car data, access to their drivers to allow us to put together really high-level vehicle model, and it's turned out really well so far in development stages.
These new MX-5s are incredible. Between the BF Goodrich tire and then all the suspension engineering that Long Road Racing and that Mazda has done, I've been very fortunate to be one of the lead development drivers for the new Global MX-5 Cup car. We've done a lot of R&D on not only suspension, but things that will not only improve the safety of the vehicle for racing, but also the longevity of it in a racing environment. A couple fun aspects have been for us, not only on the suspension development side, but the virtual world side with iRacing, actually mirroring some of the same, for instance, damper settings or brake pad changes that we've made for different compounds and such, and then we'll actually mirror that in iRacing. It's incredible to me how similar, both when we're driving the car on the test day and then we're on the sim, that we're actually able to make changes in iRacing to the damper valving, and it correlates exactly to our findings on the racetrack.
It was quite interesting. It was sort of the first time in iRacing where we developed a car in the sim along with the manufacturer and a race team. Generally speaking, a team or a manufacturer will send us a data dump of information covering everything from tires to aero if the car is set up that way, all the mechanical bits. The big difference is those cars are generally already in production or already racing, and this go around it was essentially from scratch. When Long Road Racing received their cars, we started getting our first bits of data, and as they got more data, we got more data, and we were able to go back and forth in the sim and compare with how the car performs on the racetrack.
Me and my friends in this place gonna party.
for the final time tonight from the Watkins Glen International Circuit here on iRacing. It's the iRacing British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. It's round 8 of 132. I'm Andrew Woodhouse, and I'm still with Adam Bath and Alex Simpson. And Alex, I'll bring you in the first this time, mate. I know you love this track. And how great does this look in the evening sunlight?
Yeah, it does look good actually. It's the first time I've seen it with the new lighting effects on. And we're only talking about them off camera, and we're getting ever closer to the transitioning of the day to night and from day to evening. I think once we get that, it's going to look make the sim just look epic.
Adam, Watkins Glen looks stunning, and it's a stunning track for racing on as well. And we've seen some really good stuff. We've seen a bit of bad stuff as well. At the start of the last race comes to mind. But what are you expecting from race number 4?
Oh, it's either going to go two ways. I think everyone's either going to be very well behaved, or we're going to have even more carnage, even more than we've seen in race 3.
It's going to be race 1 or race 3.
It's either going to be one of those, isn't it? Sometimes the drivers are well behaved in race 4. We actually have proper touring car racing, even with a bit of contact, and sometimes it's like race 3 at Interlagos last season, where everyone was just flying everywhere. So we'll see what happens. Craig McLeod-Evans is on the pole, John Roberts second, Paul Smith third. So we've got 3 AM drivers. I think Craig Evans is a pro-am. So we've got 3 AM drivers in the top 3. Then it's Smolenski, Hackerson, Bond, Simpson, Atkins, McCarran, Gore. I can't call a winner out of those 10. So who knows? We could even see someone outside the top 10. Even like the likes of Sakovic or Sutton. Even Balfour. They could even get up there. So it's either going to be that.
Smolenski was quick earlier on, wasn't he? I think he's the clear favourite in terms of practice pace, but turning practice pace into practical pace almost here at Watkins Glen, when you consider all the slipstreaming and things like that, is a very difficult thing. Alex, just very quickly before the start, how do you think Craig McLeod-Evans is going to do off pole position?
Well, I wish him all the best of luck. I mean, he's been there or thereabouts. He's been able to fight right in the middle, so now he just needs to try and hold on to it for dear life, I think.
Hold on to your hats, everybody. Green light comes on. It's a bad initial start from McLeod-Evans. A good second phase, but down
what
the
a start
inside.
by that CQR car.
That's Alexander Smolenski. Oh, it's Paul Smith.
What a start from Paul Smith. He's right on the go there. And into the lead he goes.
Paul Smith, our Apex Racing TV colleague, into the lead.
Crash at the back, and CQR Academy car is involved. It's actually happened before we got to turn 2. But everyone's fine.
In your voice, Adam.
Yeah, Matt Bunn.
Another one.
Pete Newman again.
Oh, really?
He's having a shocker as well.
Kip Stevens has actually survived turn 1, so we'll see if he can survive actually a lap. The 2-time former BSR Touring Car Champion. It's an awful meeting, down in 46th place. Now, what exactly happened to Newman? Did we see that?
I don't know, it looked like it started before we actually got into one. I wonder if there was a bit of quarter panel or someone just actually went into the back of him. But we're 2 by 2 for the lead. Oh, sorry, for second place, down towards the penultimate corner. Craig McLeod-Evans versus John Roberts going at it, and Smolenski.
Two huge packs as well. Oh, a little bit of contact to there as well. But yeah, Rob Fag 2.6 seconds back. So whatever that crash was separated everybody apart.
What's going on, Adam?
A race up, car's off. Don't know who it is. It's got the pink on the underneath. I think that's actually Blake Hood. And
I think you're correct. Yeah. Oh, he's in the fence.
Slowly starting to learn these liveries.
Oh,
more contact heading into turn 1. There's a Alpha Tech car and there's a CQR car going off with the green live. Oh, and there's more cars going off. There's loads of little separate incidents going on. There was another car off down at turn 1. I couldn't really pick it out.
George Simmons for Eclectic is off as well. Bit of the wall, and he can't really turn the car, so it's probably going to be retirement for George Simmons.
Let's have a look at the order then. Paul Smith, Craig Evans.
Katz all the way down there? Oh, it's Jeroen Kaiser right at the back for Eurochip Digital. Well, not right at the back, but in about... I can't even find him. Where is he? 42nd.
Paul Smith then leading, and he's leading by just over half a second from Craig Evans in second. Third it is Hackerson. Fourth Roberts. Fifth Laura Bond. Sixth Smolenski. So Smolenski, after starting in fourth, has gone backwards 2 positions. And Russell Naylor seventh. Sutton eighth. Ashley Sutton eighth. Oh, a bit sideways there. The car behind. Who was that? That was Nathaniel Simpson, now coming under pressure from Shellback and Liam Atkins.
Yep, and Shellback then's got a good run in the Alpha Tech machine on the Simpson racing car. Into turn 1, down the inside goes Shellback, can't make it stick on Simpson. Championship leader Simon Field is in P13 at the moment, and second place man Stallion Chepolewski 17th. Richard Gore lies 15th. And
Kip Stevens is in the pits. I don't know what happened to him, but it's gone all wrong.
It's gone really, really badly wrong for Kip Stevens.
Down the back straight then, 2 cars side by side. There's a Sim Racer car and a Spicer Heart car, and it's only Alex Smolensky getting past Laura Bond down into the carousel. So that's Smolensky now up into 4th place. So he's gained a place already on this lap. Past the Spicer Heart car of Bond, and now Russell Layla will try and get past. So he's got a bit of a gap to try and close, so he can get to the top 3, which is Hackerson, Evans and Smith.
Stevens is already over 200 points outside the showdown, Adam. We've only had 7 races. 7 and a bit races. It's already looking difficult for him to get in there again, but there is a very long way to go. Craig McLeod-Evans in P2. He's actually 14th in the championship in his own right. He's only 6 points behind Ashley Sutter. So Craig McLeod-Evans has had a very good season so far. Can he bridge that gap to Paul Smith? Paul Smith on a track where it's very, very difficult to get a gap, Alex, is doing a heck of a job. He's making a heck of an effort of getting away.
Yeah, 9/10 of a second at the moment. Let's just see what the draft can do. How much is he going to close down? He's close to getting out of it. It needs to be about 1.4, 1.5 seconds, if I remember correctly. And he might be coming under a bit of pressure from Hackerson here. Hackerson having a look up the inside.
Oh yes,
and Craig just lets him have it. Actually, he knows he's in a really good position at the moment.
I don't think he has let him have it. Alex is.
Yeah.
Oh, he has actually a bit, hasn't he? He looked like he was trying the outside line to try and just keep up, but is he going to have a look? I don't think he's close enough into the second to last corner, but this is where Smith really needs to get a move on, and he needs to hope that they're going to fight, because that's really the only way I think he's going to escape properly. And yeah, that's a eclectic car. I think it's Roberts, isn't it, going a bit slowly out of the second to last corner. And that's Simpson next to him. Sorry, Adam.
Yeah, sorry, I was just going to say the 2 Alfa Latex cars came close to making contact. But yeah, the 2 cars behind.
That's Shellback and Layla, isn't it?
Shellback and Layla, yes, going into the first corner. And down the inside, the car behind, that is John Roberts and Simpson. Simpson down the inside. Oh, be careful coming back onto the racetrack. John Roberts, we've already had enough incidents there going out into turn 2, but he's able to do that fine. And now the cars behind. Simon Field, Ross Balfour, Liam Atkins, Wojciech Savidovic of all people, trying to get back past. This is a very long train, and look at that Friction Racing car desperately trying to get past the Simpson Racing car deck going down the straight.
Yeah, just as we watch that, Ash Sutton up to P5 then, just ahead of, just behind, sorry, Alexander Smolensky. He's all over the back of the Bulgarian actually, through the carousel, and Smolensky likewise all the way over the back of Craig McLeod-Evans. And Smolensky's actually got the outside here. He needs to be careful because Sutton may force a way through here, Alex.
Yeah, I mean, we know how quick he is. Sutton,
twitching around.
Just on board there with Smolensky as he just gets a little bit unsettled going into the final corner as well.
Great exit from McLeod-Evans as well. He's giving himself a fighting chance here. How late can he brake? The answer is pretty late. He's going to run that round the outside. I think he's going to keep that. That's lovely driving from Craig McLeod-Evans there.
And Sutton trying to get with the Automech car as well. Round the outside of Smolensky through the S's. That's going to be very good.
Is there any contact there? I don't think there was.
No contact, no. And down the inside he goes through the second part. Just misses the Armco, or did he hit it?
I think very close. Laura Bond's there now. And Shellback, Laidler, Roberts, Field, Savidovic, they're all coming. It's a big long train, Alex. It's taking up the entire back straight. Down the inside, Sutton looking on Craig McLeod-Evans.
He goes wide.
Who's actually been frightened off the road, hasn't he, by the MG driver.
Oh, still in it though, Craig Evans, and he's looking down the inside. I think he's just going to have to slot him behind, and here comes Smolensky to try and get it back past.
Or is he just going to chuck one up the inside of Ashley Sutton into the second to last corner? Thought about it, definitely. Oh, he's run a bit wide. He's going to be compromised here, Craig.
Down the inside goes Shellback on Smolensky. So Smolensky's trying to work his way through the field. I mean, he can't do so because he's just getting blocked all the time down the front straight.
It's been a good meeting by Shellback, hasn't it? Adam, he's really put himself about, and down the inside he comes.
Into turn 1 then, and Evans, and
clean move there.
He's back onto the track, and he's just comes across, and that is Shellback through another place, up to 4th.
Yeah, nice clean passing move from Michael Shellback. Now, can Ashley Sutton catch Ben Hackerson? And can he catch Paul Smith? Well, I think we've got the answer to that second question, because Hackison's already with Paul Smith, and he's already going to try and take the CQR Academy car around the outside.
He was only quicker by a tenth of a second, Ben Hackison. However, I think the slipstream's such a benefit here. He's able to get right with Paul Smith in that CQR Academy car heading off of the carousel. In the background, side by side, Alex Smolensky and is that Craig McLeod-Evans? I think it is. And yeah, that's Smolensky past Evans. But down to the penultimate corner. Hackison and Smith. Hackison going to try and go around the outside, is he?
Paul Smith is two-time race winner, I believe, in this series.
Down to the final corner, he's got the inside line. But round the outside will sweep Paul Smith.
Nice momentum there from Smith. The Yorkshireman up into the lead again. Alex, we said that Ashley Sutton could be a contender here in this race. He's already made his way up to the front. It's going to be very difficult for them to hold him off now as he has a little look.
He's always so good on the brakes, you can see it there again.
On the track, really, where there's no real heavy braking.
Yeah, I think any chance that that Smith needs is he really needs Hackison to battle really hard with Ash here, and vice versa. If Hackison wants any chance of winning this, he needs to get by Paul Smith this lap.
Yeah, and hope that Smith holds up Sutton, because if Smith doesn't hold Sutton up at all, as Hackison goes to the outside, then both of them are sitting ducks for the reigning Renault Clio UK Cup champion.
That was easy for Ash. He saw that gap open up.
Is it going to be easy to complete it?
Oh!
Forces Hackison onto the grass. I'm sure Ben's not going to take too kindly to that. Still overlapping the race up with CQR machine.
Down
the
inside he goes.
CQR Academy driver and the main CQR driver. Oh, and Sutton got shoved wide, and that's allowed Shellback to try the outside line. Michael Shellback for Alpha Tech. They're leaning on each other. Oh, that's a big one.
And he collects Smolensky and hits
Laura
Bond. And Smolensky, he's involved. I think everyone else going to miss it. Oh, be careful! I think Euroship Digital Car might have clipped it.
Was that Andreas Katz who
it looks like he survives.
We're behind the trees, so we missed it with the camera.
And that's just thrown the cat amongst the pigeons now, because, well, Ashley Sutton is out. Wojciech Savidovic is 4 seconds down.
Here we go then. So Savidovic, who won race 2 earlier, is now back up into the podium places, but it's all about this battle for the lead still. Paul Smith and Ben Hackison, they're the only ones left to go at it to take this 4th race of the evening, unless Savidovic can close in, but we're on lap 9 now.
And again, we're seeing the usual suspects. Every race, we're seeing them getting to the end. Simon, well, at least for now, Simon Field, Richard Gore, Chepelevsky, McHerron, all those guys who just can get to the end of races.
There we go then, down towards the penultimate corner. Little look from Hackison. Of course, he's still got time. We're about to start lap 10.
What dream scenario for these guys, Adam. At the front, 3-second lead for the pair of them, and you know the main challengers, or what you see as the main challengers. And that's
Evans.
Evans turned round by Simon Field, I believe, and actually somehow only turned into a 2-car accident, and they survived, the pair of them. But yeah, just a nice, neat little spin for Craig McLeod-Evans, although that is gutting for him, because he was up in P4, and that would have been... big crash, big crash, coming out of turn 1.
We were looking at
it's Lee Berridge.
That's Job as well. And it's also... It's an Alpha Tech car. It's the 23 of Janowski. Janowski, Job, Berridge... And then Dave Baker again involved, and Hefford.
Here comes Hackison then to the outside. He's going to try it again. Smith just has the advantage going into that penultimate corner, about the penultimate lap, and there seems to be more carnage going on then in the final race.
Savidovic doesn't have the pace to make it here.
That's unless these two start mucking about.
This is true, and that's the last person they want to muck about with when they've got a 3-second lead over him. Wojciech Savidovic, and now look at Simon Field. He leads the championship. He's looking to extend that advantage. He will be able to if he can make his way past Rusty Laidler here, who Laidler's had a very good race as well. I believe this is his first meeting. I don't think he was at Phillip Island. And Richard Gore is pushing the championship leader. We said in the Winter Series, Alex, that Richard Gore could be a dark horse for the showdown, or maybe even a dark horse for the championship because of his rate of improvement. He's showing some great skills here again tonight.
Yeah, super consistency all season long. Him and Nick, as
And he's getting the pace to go with it now.
Yeah, indeed. Both are actually putting a little bit more practice in, it's fair to say, and you know, it really is paying off.
Definitely helps, that's for sure. Here comes Simon Field then, Adam.
1.5 laps to go. Oh, Hackison nearly gets onto the marbles. However, he's able to hold on to it. I thought he had just gone off that bit of track that's a bit darker than the rest.
Oh, you know, Savinovic could be there at the very end. He's still 1.5 seconds behind, but may just have a sniff of that slipstream now, Alex.
Yeah, according to my live timing, the gap is actually 9/10 of a second. So if they have a good battle, he might just be able to pip them.
Oh, Smith's wide.
Oh,
Hackison goes to the inside. Down the inside. Oh,
don't know.
That'll give Hackison the inside line at the carousel if he can hold it.
Oh, Hackison's
going to the wall.
Super cautious.
Nearly.
Hackison was super cautious. And here comes Savinovic, and he's going to get the pair of them now because Smith's got a terrible run. Smith hit one of the curbs, and surely this is going to mean Savinovic is going to sweep into the lead. There's nothing that Paul Smith can do about this as Wojciech Savinovic charging surely into the lead here. Smith is fighting with all his worth here now. It's the final lap, there's only 3 corners to go.
He forces him a little bit wide, but just not enough.
Not wide enough. Smith's going to have to be a demon on the brakes here. He's going to have to risk it all to defeat Wojciech Savinovic, and he's not going to be able to, I don't think. Savinovic is through. Is Smith going to just nudge him off the track? Is he going to try and get him out of the way? Can he look up the inside into the final corner? Oh, he pushes him. He pushes Savinovic, but it's not going to be enough. Wojciech Savinovic has pulled victory out from absolutely nothing on the final lap, and he's loving that.
He was a second behind at the start of the last lap, and he won it. And we've only had 2 race winners then. Race 1 and race 3 go to Jamie Fluke, and race 2 and race 4 go to Wojciech Savinovic. Wow, what a race.
What an astonishing finish, Alex.
Amazing, yeah, amazing. They, unfortunately, the front 2 just let it slip away. They didn't, you know, they were worried about their own battle, and they made the mistake in turn 1 and then again up the hill, and then that just left Savinovic with such a huge run, and he was like, thank you very much, and he's too good. He won't let races like that slip through his fingers when he's got a chance to have it on the last lap.
I'm not one of these, Alex, because we've talked a lot about the mental game recently, sort of privately with some of the things we're doing with the academy and things like that, but was there a case there, and I hate talking about what's going on in people's minds because you never truly know, but was there a little bit of nerves coming through with Hackison and Smith there, because they were so gentlemanly to each other up the hill that they both got caught out on you know, just making tiny little errors.
I definitely think there was a lot of pressure on Paul last lap, obviously under an awful lot of pressure, and yeah, he made that mistake in turn 1 which upset the run, and then of course really Hackison, I think, would have had to have been too aggressive to get something done and round the outside, and could have ended up in disaster. And I think he didn't want to risk losing at least you know, what would have been P2 because he tried to squeeze too wide going up through the S's there. But of course they were both checked up at that point, and that's what just opened the door. So yeah, perhaps the initial little mistake was just the pressure on the final lap. We know what it's like when you've got a car 0.3 of a second behind going on to the last lap. It's pretty intense, and I think just got a little bit better of Paul there.
Yeah, and I think that this definitely calls for trying to speak to maybe the top 3 here, actually, if we can get them. But I know Wojciech Savinovic is here. I want to see if we can get... is it worth trying to get them all in at once?
Well, let's see what we can do. See if they come down.
Shall we start off with Wojciech?
I'll go and see if I can grab the other 2, and you boys fire away.
Yeah.
Alright. Wojciech Savinovic then joins us in the commentary box, and after being 1 second behind those 2 at the beginning of the last lap, he manages to come through and take the victory. Well done, Wojciech. 2 wins tonight.
Cheers, thank you very much. I really had a very good week. I had plenty of luck, I must admit, as well, but yeah, really happy with today's performance.
When you were a second behind at the start of the last lap, did you think you would be able to catch them? I know the slipstream is quite good at Watkins Glen, but did you think you had a shot?
The moment they went too wide into first corner, and when Paul went a bit wide as well, I knew I'm gonna slingshot both of them. I actually expected to pass both of them before the carousel, but yeah, it's still, regardless, I was pretty sure I'm going to get them down the straight.
Yeah, great job, Wodge. I mean, with about 3 or 4 laps to go, you know, you're 2.5, 3 seconds back. You know, was there at any point did you just think, yeah, 3rd place will be good, or did you just have eyes purely on the win?
I kind of doubt I will be able to catch them up, but yeah, then I saw they started to race a lot, defending, not really cooperating. So yeah, like 2 laps to go, 1 more second, and suddenly I catch up the draft at the 2 laps to go, and yeah, I kind of hoped maybe, and it happened.
Well, next week we head to Brands Hatch Indy. Very different racetrack to this. And how do you see your chances there? I think you managed to get a victory. Oh, you're on pole at this race, that race last season. Do you think you can get a win this time?
Hopefully. Hopefully, it depends a lot on the qualification, because, and obviously, and a good start, because I'm quite a bit poor on the starts still. I still really need to practice that a lot. But yeah, it all depends on the qualification. Once we be in top 2, or maybe on pole position on quali, yeah, that's probably, it's really hard to overtake in there.
Awesome, thank you very much, mate. Congrats on 2 wins, and you know, really impressive first race as well, coming back through to get yourself that pole position for race 2. And then yeah, a good final race there as well.
Yeah, thanks very much, and I wanted to take opportunity and thank you to our sponsor that supports us this season, Eurochip Digital. So thank you. I just wanted to plug that in, and I hope to see you next week.
Great. Thanks for talking to us, Wojciech. And yeah, Wojciech Savidovic there, and I wonder how far he is off the top of this Drivers' Championship after what happened in the 2 races he's won today. Paul Smith joins us now in the commentary box, who was leading by a second ahead of Wojciech Savidovic going into the final lap. Paul, it all just slipped away there on the last lap.
Yeah, it was being out the front at this track. You've seen all night how effective the draft is around here, and I was just having to defend all race against first Craig and then Benjamin. But as soon as Wodge got alongside me, I just didn't have the tyres at the end. And all credit to him, he hung it out round the outside and got the run. So no, he deserved it. I'm well chuffed with second, to be honest. I got a really good start, and I said beforehand to the rest of the team, if I get a good start, I'm throwing it up the inside whether they like it or not. And I did. Luckily, he saw me, because the pit wall was getting very close. So yeah, I enjoyed that. It was good fun.
That was a great start and a great finish as well. I mean, we did say that Wodge probably wouldn't catch you if you did start battling. You did, maybe just the wrong point in the track for him to get quite a decent run up the hill, but it looked like you had been quite nice to each other, and maybe that was the problem.
Maybe I should have got my elbows out a little bit like the rest of them tonight.
That's it.
But no, in the day, that's not how I drive. I like to keep it clean. If I do make contact with people, I'll always go and apologise to them. I think half the grid know that. But you know, we kept it clean, me and Ben, and unfortunately, you know, we weren't able to keep ahead of Wodge. You know, it just shows you how quick Wodge is around in this series. He's just unbelievable. So
you must be satisfied with the pace, though, in that last race, and once again, when you're at the front, you seem to go into another gear.
I really enjoy Watkins Glen. I love the flow of it. And I always, even though I don't have the out-and-out lap time around here, I seem to keep a good sort of rhythm, get into that rhythm really quickly and work with the track. So just the odd little mistake from me in that final race, but yeah, it's a great result. Looks good for the amateur championship and for the team as well, in the team's championship. You know, CQR Academy beating the main team, so that says a lot. But it's a long season. There's going to be plenty more good races, and there's going to be plenty more bad races. So yeah, I'll take it for now.
It could have been. Tell you what, it could have been worse. It could have been Kip Stevens tonight. I think there was sort of 4 DNFs there. So.
Oh, Dave Baker, Jamie Rushworth, they seem to get involved in things as well. Even Sutton in that last race there with Shellback. So it was all about staying out the instance. I got involved in that second race instant, Steve Hefford managed to just collect me while we were trying to negotiate his way through that carnage. But
it's hard though, isn't it? We've all been in that position where there's a bit of a melee at that corner, and
I mean, to be fair to Steve,
tight.
To be fair to Steve, he had a car completely at a standstill in front of him as he's come round, so he's just come to dodge it, and he's just ended up in me. So
do me a favour,
it's one of those things.
When you watch the broadcast back, have a look at Rizzo's entry into that corner. That's quite interesting.
Okay, I'll certainly watch the broadcast back. I'm really looking forward to that.
Have you got anybody you want to thank, as well as we head to Brands Hatch Indy next week?
Well, first of all, thanks to Ash Sutton for helping set up the team and helping our guys out. I'm still learning. I think everybody is still learning, to be honest. And it's good to have Matt Bunn and Liam Atkins come up from the Club Series, because it just shows how good the Club Series is. Which, by the way, is live on Apex Racer TV on Sunday night at 8:30. So make sure you watch that.
Cheap pop.
Yeah, cheap pop. I love the cheap pop, but. But yeah, those guys are fantastic. Jamie, Dave Baker, Ash Blakehood, Michael Hall, everybody involved in the whole CQR teams. We work together, even though we are separate teams. So it's great to see them, and also Race Hub for sponsoring the main team as well. Why not? I'll throw that name in as well.
All right, nice one. Adam, anything for Paul?
No, I just look forward to speaking with you on Sunday for the Kia Club Series. I tell you what, Sakovic, even though it's his first race meeting in the BSR Pro Series tonight, he was definitely up there with the guys at the front. Always seemed to be outside the top 10.
Yeah, he's shown, again, there's quite a few of the Club Series drivers that have come into the series. You just have to look at Ben Hackerson as well, the pace that he showed in that last race with me. So, that Club Series, it's a great feeder into the Pro Series.
And that whole winter series, Paul, as well. Hackerson was very, very, very quick. The amount of improvement. I mean, Alex, I talk to you all the time about the amount of people who are improving, but Janowski's got so much better, and Gore.
Richard Gore, he is unbelievable.
Even we're seeing a different side of people like Chepelevsky this season. He's really back on the pace, and it's great to see.
I've been mentioning to the others that I think this is the most competitive field we've seen in the BSRTC. You look at that qualifying, first to 40th covered by second. I mean, that is just incredible how close it is.
Could be the most competitive iRacing series, I think, maybe in the world, this one. I mean, in terms of the fact that we have so many different winners, in fact that we have so many, so many different drivers can finish in the top 10 on any given day, and I think that's what makes our series, so great. I mean, I do the Club Series and as well, and so many different drivers can finish in lots of different positions. I mean, Roy Viverke, Paul, he was a guy who was start of last season was in the middle of the pack in the Club Series, and in the start of even season 1, he was sort of in the middle back and things like that, and now he's moving forward to nearly the front, and it's it's excellent to see.
Yeah, it's really good to see us that.
All right. Thanks, Paul. We're going to grab
thanks a lot, guys.
Grab a couple more guys, but we'll see you Sunday.
And there he goes. I'd like to have we've been given by Ben Hackerson to talk to here, and Ben. It was the final lap of the race. Savidovic was 1 second behind, and you and Paul going side by side through the S's just gave the run he needed to get past you both on that last lap.
Yeah, in hindsight, it wasn't the best idea, but I thought I'd get him out the corner. Apparently, I had a lot more room, according to my spotter, but third's more than good, and Wodge my teammate, or sister's teammate, so I'm happy for him to win. And a big shout out to Paul as well. That was absolutely fantastic defence. He nailed every single braking point when I tried to go around the outside, which I thought was the preferred line into the carousel, but obviously not.
It's been a good start to the season for you. Eclectic Motorsport, though, what do you think your chances are for this season? Are you going for the team's championship?
Yeah, we're going for the Pro-Am championship. We need to get into the showdown first. I think that's our aim at the moment. I think we've got 10 out of 12 finishes today, which is okay. We obviously want 12, but at the moment we're just focusing on finishing.
I think, as we've seen before, Ben, that seems to be the key to get yourself into the showdown, as it was last season as well. All the DNFs for some strong teams really pushed them back, so yeah, I think it's the right strategy, certainly at this stage of the season.
Yeah, especially for both the individual and the teams. It's a bit more luck based. I think now there's no fast repairs, but it's still fun, you know. Was pushing as hard as I could. Like when you're at the front, you may as well just go for it because there's a lot of points to gain for first, second, third, compared to like 30th, where you may as well just let people through if they're attacking you.
And when do you attribute your improved performances to this time? Is it the time in the club series? Is it also, you know, a better team around you? Or what would you say is causing the upturn in form?
That's a hard question, you know. I think just practice. I've only been on iRacing a year and only been sim racing a year before that, so I'm still kind of new to it. And I didn't do any console racing or anything like that, so my racecraft is still improving, hopefully.
Well, obviously, definitely it is, and you know, we look forward to definitely seeing you on track for the rest of the season. Is there anybody you'd like to thank just before we go?
Yeah, obviously my sponsors at Higher Electric Ground and our new sponsor of today, sponsoring me and George, Shopkeep. It's a game on Steam which has really high reviews, so check it out. It's on my Facebook if anyone wants to check it out.
Alright, nice one. So, just quickly before we go, are you looking forward to Brands Hatch next week?
Yeah, it's my favourite track.
Alright, There we go. Brands Hatch. Alex, cracking night.
Yeah, it's been awesome. Adam, I sense you wanted to speak to somebody else before I dragged Ben in. Did you want to just get one last little interview and apologise to the rest of them waiting?
Yeah, I wanted to talk to Ross Balfour just quickly.
Yeah, I think good idea.
Ross Balfour joins us in the commentary box. Ross, it's only your second meeting. How are you finding the BSR so far?
Hello. Extremely intense. It's extremely competitive, which is the reason I joined the series. And yeah, it's been really good. Haven't been involved in too many big incidents so far, so yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Next week then, Brands Hatch Indy. A bit different to Watkins Glen. How do you think you'll fare around there?
Well, every round I go to is I'm doing it in the first time in the Kia. I've only bought the car about three odd weeks ago, so I'm still a steep learning curve. But every round I'm getting a lot more familiar with it. So Brands Indy should be easy enough to practice on, but when it comes to the races, it'll be pretty crazy.
What are your thoughts? Yeah, go on, Andrew.
No, sorry, I was just going to say, what do you think the difference is, Ross, in this series compared to maybe some of the other ones you've done in the past?
Well, I've only been on iRacing for about 9 months now, so I haven't really ran any proper competitive series. I've just kind of been going about different series different weeks, so this is kind of the first one I've dedicated myself to. So yeah, it's good to have a set aim and a set goal every week and a championship to aim for as well. So it's and the Kia itself's a lot different than anything I'm used to racing as well. So it's all new to me, but I'm enjoying it so far. How's your performance been compared to what you maybe thought it would be, or are you sort of around the area where you'd like to be, or do you know? Obviously you'd like to be higher, but do you can get there? Yeah, I mean I've got a lot of qualifying pace to still to find, and I seem to be decent over a race stint, but my qualifying I seem to just lose. I mean about half a second every time when it comes to qualifying. I just seem to bottle it when it counts. So I've got that to work on, but my race pace is pretty decent. It's just nailing it over a lap is something I'm struggling with at the minute.
Alex, anything? Or Ross?
No, just wanted to say, well done on the first 2 race meetings. Really, just I think you'll watch this one back, and you'll pick up that we've been very, very impressed by how you've joined the series. So yeah, congrats on it, and just look forward to keeping an eye on your progress as you get more familiar with the car.
Thanks very much. Yeah, and cheers, guys. It's been good so far. So hopefully it continues.
And you'll be able to watch yourself back on Motors TV in a couple of weeks as well.
Indeed, absolutely.
Before we let you go, do you want to give a quick shout out to your team and Friction sponsors?
Yep, big thanks to Colin Conniff and Dan Craft as always for especially with the setup help. I'm pretty clueless when it comes to setting up these keys, so they've been helping me a lot. Also thanks to Puma and Fanatec and all the other guys in Friction. And see you all next week.
Cheers, Ross.
All the best.
Right.
Cheers, Ross.
Ross Balfour there, Adam.
Yeah, good to hear from him. Of course, his first season in the BSRTC, and yeah, only been on iRacing. What do you say, 9 months, and
yeah,
in the BSRTC already, and doing well.
Really great pace, and Alex, I know we're not. Just before we go, I mean, there's so many drivers who've shown great improvement in the last few months.
There has, and I think we touched on that in the race, didn't we? How drivers improve, and I think we're going to see that throughout this season as well. How drivers improve and pick up places. I mean, we've mentioned names already, but I just think there's drivers now that are fighting in around that sort of 20th, 30th place, that by the end of the season we're going to see them in and around the 10th spot as well. So it's just the way it goes, people come in. I mean, Paul said it, it's so competitive this season. In practice, what was it, 35 cars, 40 cars or whatever it was within a second? I mean, that's crazy. I mean, as soon as you add the draft into it, really it makes it almost impossible for anyone to get away from anyone. So yeah, it's amazing.
And I tell you what, work for Brands Hatch has already started, and I can tell that because practice sessions for Brands Hatch India have already came up. So
there you go.
There you go. It never stops in the BSRTC, but yeah.
Some people really wanting to put the memory of Watkins Glen out of their mind, I think, by doing this. But it's been a great meeting tonight, and I'm sure we're going to get a great one at Brands Hatch. You thought that the iRacing British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship was close. It's going to get even closer by the end of the season. Adam, Alex, it's been a pleasure, my friends.
Yeah, great to be here, yeah. And Brands Hatch next week, yeah, going to be even closer.
All right, then. So Watkins Glen has provided some astonishing racing and, some crazy racing at times as well. But we've loved every minute of it, as we love every week here on the iRacing British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. So from Andrew Woodhouse, Adam Bath and Alex Simpson, and everyone here at Apex Racing TV, iRacing Live, and of course Motors TV, we will see you next week at Brands Hatch. Goodbye.